sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me. Welcome back. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with us, so I want to apologize straight off. No, we have a really great show lined up for you guys today. A lot of fun. I don't know if you guys saw Rollo and I yesterday did 4 hours and 20 minutes debunking the debunking of evolutionary psychology.
By Mooncat.
And I talked to William Costello today, and he's got to see some of it.
Did he have any credit? What did he say about
it?
No,
he thought it was pretty good. But let's get into our guest today. Sure. She's from Vegas. She's a dance teacher. Welcome, Bailey. Bailey's your first time on the show? It's your second time. That's right. Okay. She's an artist from New Jersey. It's Vicious Wolf. Yeah. Good to see Vicious Wolf again. How you doing?
I'm well.
Okay, nice to see you. We're happy now. She's Ukraine. She's a performer and an artist, and she's coming to a lesbian near you. It's Milan. It's Milana Ricci. How you doing, Milana?
I'm doing great.
Beautiful. In the microphone here real quick.
Yes, I'm doing great.
From Cambridge, Massachusetts. He's a senior at Harvard studying evolutionary psychology, and he is probably dating your mom. It is
Bala.
It is Tristan Darshan. There he is.
Here, Mike.
Nice. And she is from Los Angeles. She does real estate and financial consulting. It is Samrina. How you doing, Samrina?
Hey. I'm good. How are you?
All right, nice. Okay, we wanted to get through that quickly because we have like 17 videos to react to today.
We got a ton of reactions today.
So what's happened is since we started changing the format of the show to be more about reactions, we've actually had to cut the number of people on the show because we don't have time to get everyone's reaction. And more people are sending us videos to react to, and the clips are terrific. So I actually like this format way better. So that's what we're going to start doing here.
We should probably explain a few things, though. There's a reason why we're exclusive. Well, I am, anyways, exclusively on Rumble right now. If you guys are watching this, you're probably watching it on Rumble, or you're watching it on Mike's channel because Mike's been demonetized, and so have I, or so has Access Vegas, anyways. My channel, The Rational Male, is still 100% up, and we're still good to go. But for whatever reason, the powers that be at YouTube decided that they wanted to demonetize this channel on YouTube. So we're now exclusive to Rumble. So this is our first premiere. This is our first trial run at this. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I so far so good. I think I like Rumble.
All right, nice.
Good. Yep. So that's just explaining why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, it's crazy. It's almost like people are after us. It's almost like
it's almost like there's a DHS NGO that's looking to.
Guys, I want you to ask you a question. For those of you who are watching this right now, we just debunked a video, or we just debated the relevancy of a video where a girl went on for 3 hours and 15 minutes trying to debunk evolutionary psychology. And I just want you to ask yourself a question. Why would someone want you to not know about this?
Exactly.
Just ask yourself the question. Like, stop real quick. Okay, so we're going to go over reasons why women and men might cheat, why people might use you for money, why people might lie to you, why people might murder you, where jealousy comes from, and what attraction triggers are. But someone doesn't want you to learn about that. Yeah. Just question in your mind. Like, before we get into the relevancy of, if you guys want to go back and watch the video, there's certainly studies that I've seen from evolutionary psychologists that are nuts. I'm not saying that's not the case. But I had never even heard of those studies because I read Stephen Stewart Williams and David Buss, and some of the ones about spatial rotation and some of the ones that had to do with like women's faces becoming more symmetrical during ovulation. I'd never even heard of that. So it felt a lot like she cherry-picked some of the low-hanging fruit and then went out, and then at no point does she ever go after 37 culture study. Does she go after parental investment hypothesis? She doesn't even talk about Stephen Stewart Williams at all.
No, it was a mishmash of crap when she's drinking like fucking 6 beers while she's doing it.
And you know what? The beers made it good. I don't have the problem with beers.
It was quite entertaining. I'll give you that. But I think more to the point is there's people don't want you to know this. They don't want you to ask the questions. They don't want you to have the conversations that we have at this table like every other Thursday. And I think that's one of the strengths of this show is like we're not here to kick girls off. We're not here to it's not outrage bait, at least not intentionally. Sometimes it gets to be that way, but not intentionally. And the thing is like we're trying to do a new kind of show with this where we can actually have these, substantive conversations. But in the meantime, we get demonetized by YouTube.
I think Mooncat doesn't cognitively know that she doesn't want people to study this. I think in her mind, what happens is when she sees men studying things like hip to waist ratio, no matter what number we came up with, it was going to be a problem for her because that number is now empirical, it's dispassionate, it's algorithmic. She doesn't like that. The idea of taking human sexuality and turning it into algorithms and numbers, at some point there is a number. There is a certain number of men, Milana, that you would find attractive and a certain percentage that you wouldn't. There is, at some point, we get to numbers, even no matter how uncomfortable it is, and someone's supposed to do that work. And it's okay that someone does that work. And I think internally for her, she sees people doing that work and she gets kind of an icky feeling.
Yeah.
Can't describe it. So what she does is she makes fun of the people who do that work by putting on funny glasses and making funny names instead of understanding deep down she doesn't want anyone to do that work because those discoveries lead to things that make an egalitarian society more difficult.
And her emotionalism just shines through all the way to the end of that. The best part, I mean, the icing on the cake was when she was coming after Ben Shapiro at the end of that video. And Ben Shapiro was talking, he literally says, there's the truth, and then there's, whatever your subjective thing. He's like, no, there is a the truth. And her whole thing, she just rejects the idea that there's any kind of like substantive, objective form of truth, right? Yeah. And that right there is really the difference between an emotionalist argument and an empirical argument.
Well, the other problem is at some point, someone has to, like, Isaac Newton has to stand on the shoulders of Johannes Kepler, and Albert Einstein has to stand on the shoulders of Isaac Newton, and Erwin Schrödinger has to stand on the shoulders of Albert Einstein. At some point, you have to say, okay, this is an objective truth, because if I don't have one, I can't build a building.
But I don't feel like gravity should work.
Yes,
I don't feel. I'm not feeling it today.
I don't feel gravity.
I'm not doing gravity today.
You guys understand? If we can't write down objective things, then we can't build on those things. Yeah. Again, every year there's a new, better, faster, more efficient version of an engine, a car, an electric drivetrain, a rocket that goes into space. You notice your internet. If you guys remember back in the 90s, trying to download a picture would take like 3 minutes. Your high-speed internet gets faster. The transistors get more complex. How does that happen? It's because there was an objective truth, and then you said, okay, let's write down that objective truth, and then let's improve on it. That we need to we need iterations, and we need iteratively improve these processes. But if we never admit to an objective truth, what foundation do we have to go to the next iteration? We have none.
Yeah.
So with evolutionary psychology, let's just say it's 30% solved. Let's say, because we don't know enough about genetics, whatever, but there's 30% in there that's like actually really good. At some point, some of us need to go talk to the girl. At some point, some of us need to do the group project. At some point, some of us need to lead our company, need to lead our military unit, need to lead our battalion. At some point, some of us need to get married. At some point, some of us need to pick a partner. And because evolutionary psychology is only, let's say, 30, 40, 50% solved, oh, well, fuck it. Let's just throw it all out because genetics are too complicated.
It must be magic.
And Ben Shapiro represents evolutionary psychology perfectly, doesn't he?
What do you mean?
He's a religious, he doesn't talk about psychology.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the other thing.
Like the man is exceptionally religious, and she's using him in an evolutionary psychology video. By the way, if you guys want to go back, and I would love for Mooncat to respond to this, there's this one part where she shows me, I believe it was me, and then she shows another, it was Fresh and Fit, then she shows me, and then she shows
it's this show, right?
Sterling Cooper. Yeah, she shows Sterling Cooper.
Yeah,
then she shows David Buss. Then she shows whatever podcast, and then she shows another one. And it was like YouTube, Buss, YouTube. And what she's doing is while you guys aren't watching, she's trying to mishmash all the YouTube content creators in with the PhDs in evolutionary psychology.
Yes.
And so that way,
red pill gumbo.
That way, no matter if anybody in YouTube says something stupid, then you stamp that on David Buss, and that was the point of what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
Do you notice, like, guys? I'm telling you, guys notice where if you are, Milana, you can speak to this being a lesbian woman. A lesbian woman goes through different things than a gay man, right? Her experiences in life are different. A bisexual woman goes through something different. A queer man goes through something different. These people all have different experiences. But when you survey people, do they survey gay men? Do they survey lesbian women? No. It's one thing they survey. What is it? What is the one thing that they survey? Does anyone know? It's LBGTQ. That's it. They put them all together, because if they put them all together, if one of them suffers, then we all suffer. And this is like a progressive tactic to put all of these alternative lifestyles together. And I get it. I understand from a political standpoint, it makes sense. The thing is, what's happening here is she's trying to do the same thing, but the opposite. She's trying to take everyone who has a viewpoint that isn't hers and mash it together, and then taking the most low-hanging fruit and then saying, this is what you are all responsible for, this crazy thing that this one person said. So now, whenever Myron Gaines says he doesn't think cheating for men is bad, therefore evolutionary psychology prescribes that cheating isn't bad.
Right.
And that's what
therefore David Buss supports cheating.
David Buss supports cheating. So because of that, because of what's going on, even if she believes it's passively, if you let her get away with it, and a lot of people were asking, why are you even platforming this woman? I was like, I don't have 500,000 subs. That video just hit a million views.
A
million views. No, she is platforming me. By the way, Mooncat, thank you for putting me in your video. I appreciate that. But the point is, that may be some people's first exposure to what I think is a very, very important study of evolutionary psychology. And I didn't want their first exposure to it to be, oh, this is just a bunch of MAGA hat-wearing racist bigots who are out there just hating women. When I believe David Buss is a Democrat. Like, it just doesn't make it. And Lita Cosmides, last time I checked, had a vagina. Like, I'm like, this is crazy to me that's the direction we're going.
I was going to say that I probably lock horns ideologically with a lot more like evolutionary psychologists, because they all tend to run liberal and Democratic.
Yeah, they're liberals. but that's the point. Like, that should give it more credibility. The fact, like, I guarantee you right now, William Costello, Chris Williamson, Rollo Tomasi, Myron Gaines are all in the same video being criticized, looking at each other like, what? Like, what? How the fuck are we in the same video?
It's
you
like
know what I'm saying?
It's that Spider-Man meme.
It's like Spider-Man. We're like, what do you mean? It's like, it's so crazy. It's like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are both the bad guy at the same time. They can't both be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You understand? So it was so funny because it's open, whether or not she recognizes it, it's opened up a dialogue between William Costello, Alex Datesyke, myself, Mac and Murphy,
even me,
even Rollo.
90% of these guys.
It's opened up a.
Does she even talk about Mac and Murphy at all?
No, she doesn't talk about Mac.
Of course not.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, but she doesn't. But like the thing is, though, Mac and Murphy, like the problem is, she was kind of clout jacking, because remember, Mac and Murphy actually has to do with evolutionary psychology, right? And Mac and Murphy has a lot of he goes into metadata. He's very difficult to criticize. What's easier to do is to go after Ty Lopez. What's easier to do is to go after Ben Shapiro, who aren't evolutionary psychologists. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they're both more popular than Mac and Murphy. Right. So I get more bang for my buck. I go after a low-hanging fruit, call them an evolutionary psychologist, and then I get the extra juice from the fact that they're more popular than Mac and Murphy. Yeah. Whereas if I go after Mac and Murphy, what happens? Mac and Murphy looks at the metadata for some of these studies, and he's very, very thorough. So, like,
and he's actually going to respond and debunk
for sure. And Mac and Murphy would run circles around her. And so because of that, she's not going to go after Mac and Murphy. Just like she didn't go after Rollo, because after the time she did a Manosphere video, Rollo did a 3-hour debunking of that. Well, that's not worth. But that's not worth. It's not that she's afraid. It's not worth her time. It's way easier for her to attack the edges. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's easier for her to attack the fringe than to go out the middle. If she was going out the middle, she would have started. She wouldn't wait 25 minutes into the video to talk about David Buss. She would have started off with David Buss. She would have gone after the evolution of desire, and she would have gone after the 37 culture study they did in 1989, showing all these different cultures, even though they were independent of one another. In all those cultures, men were more interested in casual sex than women, and women were more interested in men's ability to procure resources than the other way around. She would have attacked that head on from the gate. She would have gone after the ape that understood the universe and fucking the murder book. Like, she would have gone to the murder next door. She would have gone right after that, but she can't. So she attacks the fringes and then makes you think that the fringes are the whole, and goes so far out of bounds that she starts talking about people who don't even believe in evolutionary psychology. She starts criticizing behavioral psychologists, and many of which don't even believe in Evo Psych. It was one of the craziest things. There's probably behavioral psychologists like, how the fuck did we get thrown into this video? This is crazy.
That's
like,
what
what's
my
going
background
on?
is in behavioral.
Yeah, but that's the crazy. That's the crazy part. It was basically one more time. I don't mind that you guys are getting sold to. Just know that you're being sold. And in this case, just know that when people are trying to make an argument like this against you, what they're going to do is take everything that they don't like and put you into one big blob and say, do you see that all this kind of stuff is your fault?
Called a straw man.
And it's a straw man fallacy. And to me, like, what I saw was her version of YouTube bigotry. Basically, she takes anyone who doesn't believe what she believes and puts them all together. There's like, my criticism before was, I know probably more about evolutionary psychology than 99% of YouTube content creators, but I don't know anywhere near as much as Buss or William Costello or Steve Stewart Williams. I can't. I don't deserve to be criticized. It is the equivalent of saying I go out with my friends and play flag football and I drop a pass, and therefore, because they saw that, all Americans can't play football. That's the equivalent of what they're saying. I should not be part of this discussion at all. I appreciate that you put me in the video, Mooncat. I appreciate that you did it, but you should have stuck to evolutionary psychologists, because the title of your video was not I debunked bad science or I debunked questionable psychology. The title of your video was I debunked evolutionary psychology.
I got to jump on these real quick. This super chat from Stinky. Stinky to Magic Poo, thanks. Mooncat reminds me of Adam Savage quote, I reject your reality and replace it with my own. And then the other one is, I think it's important to make the distinction between red pill and describing intersexual dating, courting dynamics, and content creators' prescriptions on how to move based on that data. Yeah, that's right. There's the practice, and then there's the theory, and I think that's probably a really good distinction. And then last, thanks for the. He said, "Welcome to monetization. Here's my first $5. Thanks, brother. Much appreciated. Do you want to? Which one do you want to go first?
Let's start with Guy Friends. That one's pretty funny. All right, guys, we're gonna react to some videos.
The one you just gave me.
No, we can. No, let's do that in a little bit. Let's save that for like the third.
Okay.
That one is too fucking funny.
Okay, Guy Friends?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Ready? Everybody watch up on the screen. Can we get up there? There we go.
If you want to make friends with a guy, you just have to say something a little gay to him. What do you mean something gay? Dude, straight guys love nothing more than when another straight guy says something a little gay to him. Check this out. Muscles, dude, you're looking good, bro.
Stop it, man. You're looking pretty good yourself.
What are you benching these days?
Like 4 or 5.
I would have thought even more than that.
I've been looking for a gym partner, actually.
Are we about to go to the gym together?
I would love that, dude. Dude, well,
What do you do for abs,
We should
bro?
go. You want to go to the gym with me sometime?
Dude, I fucking love you. You're the man, dude. You're the fucking man.
I'm the fucking man, dude.
Dude, I went after I watched that, and I was just like, "Has that what these dudes been doing to me?" Because they I went to the fucking Towel Beach the other day, and guys were like, "You're looking good, bro. You want to go lift?" And I was like, wait a second. Am I being manipulated right now? I don't understand." Ladies, have you ever seen anything like that before? Like guys saying that to like pseudo gay things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you hear guys and they'll just make jokes about like fucking each other too. I'm like, why do you do stuff like that? That's so weird. And
my
they'll laugh.
favorite comment of all is Justin Waller has the best one. He goes, "Hey bro, you're looking good, all homo." He says that shit. It's so funny.
I mean, maybe they mean it.
Huh?
Maybe they mean it. Yeah.
What do you think, Tristan?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Fucking Tyler, if he's watching right now, every fucking day. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, men in Ukraine doesn't do it.
They don't do that.
they don't do that.
Ukraine, yes. Okay, there you go.
That's illegal over
Vicious.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, there's some guys that I know that I've been a little bit curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say the least.
If the gayer he acts, the straighter he is. It's a rule.
That's how it works.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
So you're good.
it's a little questionable.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's acting too straight, so he is gay.
I hate to sell out my friends, but like when we were out here, like when everybody was coming in, like, bro, you look like you're lifting a lot lately.
Yeah, every day they're like,
every day.
and I'm like, am I being manipulated? I'm being gaslit by other men so they can be friends with me. That's what this video showed me. What do you think, Bailey?
I think gym bros have like a very special connection.
Into the mic.
too.
Into the mic.
I think gym bros have a very like close connection too. I've noticed like
Yeah.
all the dudes in the gym, not all of them, but most of them are just like very close, and I think it's like an appearance thing. I don't know if it's out of intimidation or maybe they're just like, I don't know what's up with it, but they have a bond at the gym. For sure.
I'll ask guys like, "Hey man, what stack are you running right now?" That's about as far as I'll go. It's like, how much trend this week?
I was gonna say.
Can you let me know how much you doing this week?
Yes, and I know when that conversation took place
Yes.
and with who it did.
Yes.
I'm not going to say
Okay,
who it is.
let's go to the next one.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
have you seen this? That sort of reminded me of this. Is like guys who work out and they ask, like, "Hey, have you been working out a lot lately?" There's a meme that's been going around where it's like the guy is like really skinny, and then he gets like in his mind he thinks, if I get jacked, then all these girls will want to come around me. And
and it's just dudes complimenting
the next
him?
one, it's like all these guys just compliment, "Hey, bro, what's your stack? What are you benching right now?"
It's so funny.
It's nothing but guys
let me say something.
doing it.
Dating coaches will tell you the same thing. They became dating coaches to get better with women, and they're just surrounded by dudes.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like Owen Cook and me and Owen used to go out every week for like 4 years, every weekend, and we'd go out there, and it was like literally we'd have have like really great conversations, and it was fucking 35 guys following us around in the Roosevelt Hotel or at the bungalow or whatever. By the way, go check out my video I just did with Rolo.
Pickup boot camp if there's no women there at all. That's how you know you're at pickup boot camp.
Beautiful. All right,
no women.
Let's go to the next one.
What's the next? What do you want to do?
Just pick one, man. At this point, I don't care. We'll just knock them out.
Let's do. Oh, this is the Friendzone one. That one's really good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
If you're a man out there that's watching this, you need to start friend-zoning more girls. Friend-zoning women is the key to having great friendships and networking with anyone in the world. You are 1 to 3 hot women away from networking with anyone. I mean, like literally, you name them, you're 1 to 3 women away from them.
Okay, before we go on, there was another version of this video I wanted to show. Can you show it real quick?
Which one is it? One second. Let me push this one out of here. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, we pulled up the wrong one.
They're both similar, aren't they?
Yeah, we pulled up the wrong one. Here we go. Let's do it again.
Yeah, they look exactly alike.
It's the same guy?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a networking hack, but I may get in trouble for this, so don't get mad or cancel me. You need to become friends with more hoes. Nobody networks like hoes. They know all of the most successful people by default. But this is the key. When you become friends with them, they're going to introduce you to all of their super successful friends. But here's the #1 rule. Under any circumstances, do not date them and do not get with them. The reason is, 1, they're hoes, but 2, because the second y'all break up or stop talking, you're going to be exiled from the group and everyone's going to have to stop talking to you or being your friend. If you never cross that line, you're plugged in and connected basically forever.
Such a great point.
I feel like he just went on MOAmentoring.com, just ripped the sales letter off the website.
So here's the thing. Like, I'm not
plagiarism,
because we're gonna play one with Sadia Khan where she says the same thing. I'm not saying that they got this from me directly, but they got this from me indirectly, because in 2008 I was saying you need to have as many female friends as possible, and I was getting fucking eviscerated and crucified
by who?
By all the guys in the dating community saying that you men and women need to be friends. Now everyone's saying it, and they're like, they just got this out of fucking thin air. I don't know if I believe they got this out of thin air. I'm sure, whatever, but I'm like, it's just funny how all of a sudden the times have changed. What do you guys think about this? Being friends with more hoes. Bailey, you think guys should do that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good tactic.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't like settle down with them if your like only idea is to have more of a social circle. That's super smart.
Yeah, I said every guy should have one huge slut friend. Because you learn so much from having a huge slut. Guys, seriously, if you have like a couple of female friends who like they're fucking like sugar babies while doing porn on the side, and they just show you all the text messages and you don't sleep with them, you will learn so much. It's crazy. What do you think, bitches?
I mean, honestly, if you are trying to like achieve something or have a goal, or you want to like connect with someone, and this hoe per se has that connection, then you can utilize that for your gain, so I mean, why not, if that's what it is? That's your intention.
Lana.
Then go for it.
Yeah, I think it's 100% a good advice.
See, Milana, we friend zone each other because we don't play on the same field at all. Actually, that's not true. She was take all the girls from me. Go ahead, Tristan.
Oh, it's 100% true. They've got me. I mean, that's how I met you.
Bro, to be fair, we need to hire some hoes to work on the sales team. Am I wrong? Could we maybe hire some hoes to work on the sales team?
Click
They're
the
already good
link.
salesmen. Like, ladies, if you guys are hoes out there and you want to learn, you want to get 10% commissions, go ahead.
I have learned
MOAmentoring.com/affiliates.
I've learned the most sales techniques not from sales trainers, but from strippers.
Yeah.
I've learned
strippers
the
are
most
incredible.
influence from strippers than anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what do you think?
Like, what do they teach you?
I mean, it's just everything. Like they know how to get into like your emotions. They know how to make the dude like cry. Okay, they make you think that they actually like you, and then they take your money, and then you leave.
So they're the best salesman on planet Earth?
100%. 100%. It's not even a question.
They've low-key studied
I've had
psychology.
an idea for the company. We should just have one of the guys on the team just go to Sapphire and just spend the night, and whichever one he falls in love with, that's who we hire.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Which one works?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Sam Marina, what do you think about being friends with hoes?
I agree with the advice.
Can you get in the microphone?
I agree with the advice.
I don't think her mic's on. Is it on? Go ahead one more time, Sam Marina.
I agree with the advice.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, we talked about this the last time I was on the show too, actually.
And
But
think
I was doing
agree.
it for a different reason. By the way, some of my I didn't want to call them hoes, but I have some female friends that have been like engaged 7 times, and like every time they take me out, they're introducing me to another dude who has a fucking Bentley and is worth $400 million. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And they're right. It's if you don't sleep with them, then you never break the relationship, so they never have to pick sides. You guys know something. If you have a friend group and you also in a relationship, when you break up, it is like a divorce. People are going to pick sides, but it never has to happen if you guys are just friends. And so that's the best way to do it. Make sense? Beautiful. Let's get another one.
Man, well, sometimes you don't get no hoes, man.
No, you know, I'll just chime in real quick because I have a lot of people who say, like, why do you hang out with Tiffany Fox? Why do you hang out with, like, Domo? Why do you hang out with, like, you know? And I'm just like, you know what? They're some of the most honest people. Like, if you're a hoe, like, what are you going to say? That's what you do, right? They tend to be some of the most honest, I mean, at least insightful,
they'll
honest
own it
people.
for
Like, yeah,
sure.
they'll own it.
Well, they're self-aware. They're like if you talk to some of these, they're like even Savannah Staggs was self-aware. She's just like, I understand that I'm like this, and I appreciate that because the problem is so often men who are young, you know, they're delusional, they're paying women for sex or whatever. There's a lot of women who are young. They're like, oh, because I match with 2,000 people on a dating app, therefore I'm a 10. And the thing is, I'll tell you this right now. We do a bikini competition every year. I do several of them. I got 4 of them set up in San Diego. This Sunday we're going to be at the Pendry Hotel, and the thing about the bikini competition is the guys ask me sometimes, like, what do you do when really unattractive girls show up? I'm like, let them in. I let them in because it's the first time anyone has ever showed them. Like, it's just so crazy to me when some of these girls walk up and they'll see like Masha or they'll see Ambry McKee or they'll see like fucking Olivia, like some of these other girls that are always in the top 3. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, yeah, I'm just as pretty as her. And it's like, what the fuck are you thinking? And they just get done. It's like literally me. Just I'm in an NBA game because I hit a couple of threes in practice yesterday, and I just get fucking destroyed. And these girls go there, and then the crazy ones is the ones who have no business being in the contest. They're the first ones to come to me and be like, your contest is rigged.
Yeah.
Why is your contest rigged? I'm like, do you really think you're as pretty as her? But like, that's the problem. That happens.
And the other thing is that they're usually the most entitled ones. It's usually the top 5.
Yes.
They're super nice. They're on time.
Yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
give us any fucking problems. But it's
they're the
always
best.
after that who give us the most issues.
They're compensating for something. That's
Oh,
why they
yeah.
have
Oh
to
my
be
God.
on time.
Damn
They
right.
have to do all that.
Yeah, dude, I wish the contest was nothing but fucking Kayla Rocket, Masha Diduk, and Ambry McKee. It'd be incredible. Everyone shows up on time. It's just nothing fun. Kindly Myers. It would just be, everyone would be on time. Everyone would be appreciative. It would be just nothing but fun. And then the other girls would walk up to him and be like, oh, yeah, I'm just as hot as them. And I'm like, it's so crazy. Me as a man, I don't walk up to a dude who's benching 455 and be like, I can do that. Let me go do that. And my shoulder pops out of socket. Like, what are you doing? It's just so crazy. Anyway, the bikini competitions are, if you guys want to see something just absolutely crazy, at the top you will see 10 of the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. And then you're going to see a bottom 40 where some of those girls actually could have made top 10. Some of them, and I'll tell them, I'll be like, hey, come back next week. Really, you should have got top 10. But some of them are like, hey, congratulations. Thank you. That was very brave of what you did getting up there. That was awesome. But it was like, how did you think this was going to, like, I know I should not be in an IBFF pro bodybuilding competition. How do I know that? How am I aware enough to see that? You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the, I forget what pageant it was, but like Miss Alabama is just, I mean, the girl was like big as a house. It was just in the news recently. And I'm like, see what happens is when women see that and then they go, you know what? If she can be, I don't know, Miss USA or whatever she won the award for. Like, she's morbidly obese.
But if Miss Alabama changes the criteria of what they're doing, then I agree. But they're not. If that's why I like Swimsuit USA. You guys remember, for those of you who want to check out something, for those of you who remember, the Miss USA competition used to have a swimsuit portion and they got rid of it. Well, if you like that, then go watch Swimsuit USA because it's nothing but the swimsuit portion. And I'm the host of that, and it is fucking phenomenal. It's a bikini. It's basically a bikini competition. No offense to you guys, but there's no tattoos and no OnlyFans. That's the only rules.
Yeah.
And
it's not fucking rigged.
And it's not rigged. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, all you red pill bros will love it.
Yes.
No tats. Which one? Oh gosh, that one.
This one is hilarious. This week we got some really funny ones for you guys.
I got you. Okay. You gave me this. I'd seen this one before when you gave it to me.
Would you rather kiss me or kiss the prettiest girl in the world for $1 million?
$1 million to kiss the prettiest girl in the world?
Yes.
Do I get $1 million if I kiss you?
No. You only get $1 million if you kiss the prettiest girl in the world.
Well, obviously I'd pick the prettiest girl in the world and get $1 million. We'd be rich.
Yes, we would. But did you think to say, I'm the prettiest girl in the world?
But you're not. You're not. And that's okay. You're a solid 6. A high 6.
This is a setup.
And you're being selfish right now because you're being $1 million richer.
I don't even think you're a 6.
No. I don't care what you think I am. I pulled you $1 million. You'd have to take one for the
If
team.
you would have just said,
Take one for the
babe,
team.
you're the prettiest girl in the world, you could have kissed me and gotten $1 million. That's the loophole.
But you're not.
Oh my god.
She trapped. Her logic was that she wasn't the prettiest girl in the world.
Yeah, because she said,
She
if I
said
kiss
that.
you, then it's an. But she wanted him to say he's the prettiest girl in the world. It is really one of the craziest things. Where like guys, like you understand, your man can love you and think that there are other women that are prettier than you. A lot of women don't, especially when they're young. They don't grasp that concept. Like it's like beyond them. You know what I'm saying?
Have you read the book, The Way of a Superior Man?
Yes, by David Data.
Yeah, I'm reading that one right now, and he says that in the book. Honestly, that book gives a lot of people game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
interesting.
old school.
That's
but
very
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And he said that in the book, and that's what reminded me of this.
Milan, what do you think? Do you ever have girls ask you if you're the prettiest girl in the world?
Say it again.
Do you ever have girls come to you and be like, "Do you think I'm the prettiest girl in the world?"
No.
Fishing
No?
for compliments.
If someone did, if
No.
you had a girlfriend and she was like, "Am I the prettiest girl in the entire world?" What would you say?
Of course, she will be the prettiest for me, for sure.
Yeah, that's what you tell them. See, this woman has game.
She's like, we should. Just
Everyone
shoot
should have a
content
lesbian
together.
friend. Everyone should have a lesbian friend.
100%.
Yes. Go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, I've never had anyone like ask.
Vicious. You're
that
the
que-
prettiest girl in the world.
But I've never had anyone like ask questions like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like really like narcissistic too.
What do you think, Bailey?
You think it's a trap?
Yeah, it's a trap. I'd say like if you were like to say you're the prettiest girl to me, sure, that's a great answer. But the prettiest girl in the world, come on. Like, I don't like how he said she was a 6. I mean, that would suck hearing that from a boyfriend, but prettiest girl in the
Do you
world.
guys understand? If
that's a
you're
stretch.
like we sit there and bash on 6s, but 6 means you're above average. Most of like us aren't really 6s. Like legitimately, if you were to stratify all men in the world, I'm probably not a 6. Like there's so many better looking dudes. Like I totally understand that concept. It doesn't bother me at all. But if you were to ask my girlfriend, she'd be like, "Oh, he's a 9." I'm like, "Well, no, that's because you're biased. You know, that's what's going on."
I love when she says.
Beauty's in the eye of the
I love when
beholder.
she said she would have dated you 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's funny. Go ahead.
Hilarious.
No, you wouldn't. So, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I just said beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So
No, it
It
isn't.
is not. It is actually not. That has been debunked.
That's debunked.
Municat would agree with you.
Municat would agree
She would
with
agree
you.
with you. though.
Yes.
I must
You-
be
did
pretty
you-
weak-willed because all it took was falling in
Oh,
love
we
with
didn't
a
see it.
man.
Oh,
and
let's
now
say
Start over real quick.
I'll back it up. Hang on. There
I
you go.
must be pretty weak-willed because all it took was falling in love with a man, and now I'm like, not really. I mean, I'm a feminist, but like, kind of. I don't really need my maiden name. I don't really need it. I like your last name better anyway. Like, I'll just take that. I know he can do his own laundry. I know that he can clean the house, but I want to do it for him. I want to cook all his meals. I want to make sure he's getting all his whole grains, all his vegetables. I want to make sure he's getting all that protein.
All his
He has not
macros
asked
are on
any of
point.
this of me. It just kind of naturally kicks in. Like these instincts just kind of come out of like, oh, now I have to take care of you when you're sick. Oops, I made you breakfast and it fits all of your dietary requirements. My bad. I think I got possessed by a housewife. Is that what happens?
I guess feminism has its limits.
Yes. Has this ever happened to you where you had a mentality and then all of a sudden it changed when you met the right man?
Yeah, for sure. If he's providing like those types of things, then I just like want to do other things. Like I want to provide for him because he's providing for me. You know, I wouldn't want to just sit there like a lump on a log while he's like doing everything for me. And it's like, I don't know. I'd almost feel bad just like sitting around because he's playing a part, I'm playing a part, and if they mesh perfectly, then yeah, I'm good to do all of it.
I mean, okay, so I have like kind of like two viewpoints. Okay, so I'm not really into cooking, but like I'll cook sometimes. But I don't mind cleaning and doing laundry. However, I do kind of feel like, I don't know, I like to be worshipped. So that's kind of different for me. Yeah, I would kind of like that. So yeah, maybe I'm a little different. Yeah.
So it goes. So if you want to be worshipped, does that like mean like if he does that, then is it like reciprocal?
Well, yeah, no, I totally will do that too. Like if you're like,
What if he wants to be worshipped?
Yeah, no, I'm all about it too. I'm all about that.
I want to ask you this: have you ever dated a guy?
Yeah, I
I did.
You did?
Uh-huh.
And there was never a point where he made you change your behavior, or they were just icky and gross. I think they're icky and gross.
Well, he
I think
made
all
me
men are
change,
trash.
Like,
He made you change to become a
yes,
lesbian.
Yes.
That's awesome. There we go. Shout out to that guy.
Yes. Shout out to that
Okay, so you're saying is you at one point found men attractive. Did you ever meet a man that you wanted to change your behavior for, become a housewife, anything like that? No.
I'm not
No.
gonna be a housewife.
Yeah, and then you just realized you just like women better.
Maybe for some time, I like taking care of the people who I love.
Yeah.
Of course, but I will not be a housewife.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Nice.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Like, so because this is the first time you've said that you actually like were with a guy at one point. Like, you've been on the show like probably 2 or 3 times now. Was the guy that you were with, was he like more masculine, or was he more like kind of like effeminate? Was he like thinner and like more
No, masculine.
He was more masculine, really.
Yeah.
What did he do to make you
What did I
start
do?
batting left-handed? Like, what happened?
It was a lot. It was.
Was it a bad shit that he did?
I don't really want to.
Okay, then no, we don't have to
don't
talk about it. Go ahead. Well, actually, San Marino, what do you think? Has a guy ever digmatized you and you were like, yes, let me go cook some shit? Yes. Yeah. There we go. All right. There we go. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Can we do the meeting a guy Miami one?
I want to point one more thing out here, especially to just sort of tag this on to the end of this video is. I like to use this as kind of like an example of like there's the guy that like women will say that they, you know, this is who I want to be with, and then there's the guy that is the guy who is she's going to be the ride or die girl for. So when I have talked to women in the past who are like very, you know, dyed in the wool feminists, and they're like, you know, it's got to be 50-50 and everything else, and they meet a guy that brings the woman and brings the feminine out in her. That's when suddenly like they're like, I don't understand, why am I really like this, why do I want to do this? So I always use this example. There's Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Okay, so Eva Mendes was very anti having children. She didn't want to have any kids. She was, you know, pushing 40 at the time. Like she was like late 30s, right? She meets Ryan Gosling. Her whole life she's like, I don't want kids. I know I don't want kids. Meets Ryan Gosling, marries Ryan Gosling, and she says, I want his fucking kid. I want his babies.
Yeah.
That's what she, and so she goes from this like very, you know, sort of like a strong, empowered, narrative feminist woman to I want his babies.
Right.
And that was the end of it. And like, she is like right or die. I mean, it's Ryan Gosling, let's be honest. But like that's her guy. And that right there is like when people ask me like, Rolo, what is, like, give me an example of, like, genuine desire. That's genuine desire. I want his babies. Not, oh, my biological clock is ticking. I need to have kids soon. This guy will do. You know, that's not what I'm talking. You know, it's not, I want babies. I want his babies. And there's a difference between, like, a difference in desire between those.
Why do you think that happens? What specifically triggers a female's instincts like that?
I think it's the guy has to be sort of first of all has to be the right fit for that girl, but also he's got to be conventionally masculine to bring out that conventionally feminine. I think a lot of women, we're going to get to some more videos here that's going to like sort of back this up. That's why I'm kind of giving you a preface here. But there are women who will go and they'll be very highly masculinized, and they'll say, you know, I done everything everybody told me to do. I got my job. I got my money on point. I've got my education, everything else, and they essentially turn themselves into the men that they want to marry, right? Well, the problem is they can't find a guy who is that much more above them, where they would be as far as like being that guy. But when they do find that guy, like against all odds, and they find that guy, that's when Eva Mendes says, Ryan Gosling, I want your babies. That's when there's a clip. I want your kids, right? And so that natural innate. I think we have surveyed like so many girls on this show where I've said, is there any situation where you would not think it would be 50-50 or would be some reciprocal thing where a guy could sort of bring that out in you? Because one of the things that I always talk about with women is when they're telling me, I got all this stuff together, Rolo, I got my job on point, I got my money on point, I got education on point, I did everything everybody told me. Where's my man? Where are all the good guys? And this is going to lead up to a video that we have here. Where are all the good men? And I always say, well, they're back in your 20s where you left them, generally. But the thing is like you're not going to find that guy now because you've become that guy. And you will have to find some way to get in touch with your inner feminine, get back in touch with your femininity. And the problem is when I say that, it sounds like I'm saying dumb yourself down. Like, I did all this work, I did all this education, I got my money together, I'm living like a guy, like a successful alpha male, and you're telling me I need to start acting like some like naive little kind of like, housefrau, and I'm going to be, naked and barefoot in the all my teachers throughout my college education told me that's the enemy, that's not what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that I should do that. I'm saying, well, you have to get in touch with your inner feminine. And the problem is there's not enough guys that can bring that out in those women in the first place because they've built lives around emphasizing their masculine. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
I agree.
All right, let's keep it going.
All right,
no, the Aviato, the one I just gave you last.
Oh, that one? Oh, jeez.
Yes. This one's hilarious.
The TikTok one. Okay.
Yeah.
This one.
I'm Christina, and this is my friend Vicky.
What color are your eyes?
They're blue.
I'd like to invite you both to come with me to Oviedo.
To come where?
To Oviedo. For the weekend. We leave in 1 hour.
What? Where is Oviedo?
A very short flight.
By plane?
Florida.
What's in Oviedo?
I go to see a sculpture that is very inspiring to me. Very beautiful sculpture. You'll love it.
Oh, right. You're asking us to fly to Oviedo and back.
No, we'll spend the weekend. I mean, I'll show you around the city and we'll eat well, we'll drink good wine, we'll make love.
Yeah, who exactly is going to make love?
Hopefully the three of us. I'll get your...
That was such a good There's so much more. There's so much more to that scene too. Yeah.
What movie is that from? I don't even know what that's from.
It's right. It's a movie clip. I forgot what the hell.
That's hilarious.
Somebody in the chat will know it. Yeah.
You ladies ever had anything like that where the guy's like, I have a lot of money, get on my airplane. And
Is there possibly a yacht involved?
Yes. Anybody, ladies, ever had an experience like that? No? This is the wrong crowd because I know some of them have definitely done something like, I love that video. It's like, that's what it's like. When I talk to my friends in Miami, my female friends in Miami, they say every dude is like that. It's like Lambo, fucking, penthouse, yacht, and then I want 6 girlfriends, and you need to just be cool with it. And then the girls are like, I fucking hate it here. Then leave, but they don't leave.
Yeah, they think that money can just like buy you.
It's hilarious.
But the dude is like dropping serious game, though. I mean, at least, I realize it's a movie. I got you. But like, as far as the guy, like, he doesn't break character. Like,
a lot of it has to do with his accent.
That's
it's a
true.
very sexy accent.
It's almost like he's sure. He's sure of the sale, right? He's not going to break character, and he's sure of the sale.
That's so funny. No, he doesn't. It's not that just that he's sure of the sale. He doesn't care if he doesn't get the sale.
He doesn't care if he get. Yeah,
hopefully exactly. The 3 of us.
Yeah, he said that to like 20 other girls that night.
That's so great.
I got one here that will tag onto that one really well. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This has been making the rounds recently on. I think it's I think it's TikTok. So this is funny. So check this out.
So how tall are you? I'm kind of nervous. Oh my goodness. Okay. How's the dating life at 6'9"?
I'm single, if that's what you're asking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you single?
Yeah.
I probably should have asked that.
So why are you single then?
I mean, why is anybody single? Dating life is tough out there.
I agree.
For you?
It's, very hard.
No, it's not.
I could say the same thing to you.
I'm a guy, though. It's different. Like, people just want to date me because I'm 6'9". That's why I'm so big into like the heart over height thing, because it's so annoying.
Heart over
height? Yeah, I get that, because I've had a similar experiences. It's like the whole D1 babies thing.
Did you see the comments?
I did see the comments.
Yeah, I mean, everywhere I go, like, it's just people think I'm Kevin Love or like an NBA player or something, so.
I see that.
Yeah, he's handsome,
Yeah, I agree. And I think because I'm a girl, a lot of the attention would be just specifically on me, not even us as a couple.
Yeah.
But then I feel like this difference is different. It's just like the both of us. You know what I mean?
I gotta work on my posture.
Yeah, I mean, you struggle with that too?
When I'm standing around you, I'm like, yeah.
Right?
I'll stick the chest out.
Oh, I like that.
And just to confirm, you said you are single.
Yes, I am single. And you are, right?
Yes, I'm single. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
You want to get coffee?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a good spot I'm going to take you to. I'll show you.
It's a palate cleanser.
That was cute.
I thought it was funny because it's like happening like right in front of your eyes, right? Like this, I mean, that it's not a setup. This was actually like organically happening as it was going on. And that dude is actually 6'9", and that girl's pretty tall, but she's also in like probably like 4 or 5 inch wedges on top of that to get up to where he's at. But you could tell like in the very like I think it was about midway through she starts future forecasting. Like she starts future forecasting and starts giving him IOIs, and it was just I thought it was great because it was a really good example. Like when you're talking about like this guy in the movie here who's like just very sure of the sale, whereas this guy is just like he knows that he's going to ask his chick out while she has the microphone in hand at that point. He knows he's going to do this. But he's sure of the sale, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah, he's tired of people using him for his body.
Yeah,
so that's
heart over height.
He got sick of that.
Height is a thing. Which one? All right, hang on. Let me get you. Which one? Okay, gotcha. Here we go.
Here are 3 things that you should never do when texting the girl. Number 1, using emojis. You're a man, not a little boy. Emojis diminish your words. You can speak clearly and get your point across without having to diminish those things. Number 2, double texting. She saw it. The text was delivered. She chose not to respond. Have some dignity and walk away. You sending the second message only makes you look weaker and try hard, and it puts you at a lower value position. And number 3, sending memes. You got time in the day looking at memes and then sending it to girls. You look corny. Let her send you the damn memes. If you're a guy, man, that wants 5 proven tips to text a girl you like, I share those with you in my free ebook, Textual Seduction. How to text a woman you like. All you have to do, bro, is comment the word texting on this post, and I'm going to send this free ebook directly to you.
I just want to look at who commented texting.
A lot of people. All right. I agree with the first 2 for sure, but the third one, absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. Memes are a hack.
Have connected me with the most beautiful women I have ever seen in my life. Like they literally like won't respond to anything, and I send them a meme, and then they want to hang out. I have never seen anything work like memes, so I disagree with that. I think they have to be really good memes.
They have to be really
good.
Up.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing with the
and
emojis.
misogynistic.
Here's the thing with the emojis. When I do like a bikini competition, I'm going to say it's a $30,000 bikini competition. I'm going to have a bag of money and then say bikini competition and then have a swimsuit. And I don't do it to be cute. I do it to make, just in case a girl has brain damage, so that she fucking understands what's going on. Because he was like, they're diminishing your words, but I don't think it is. I think you can actually use emojis to like explain.
Can accentuate your words.
Yeah, for sure. So like there's like 3 dates for the bikini competition. I'll put the little calendar emoji. And I'll do that because, like, some girl, not you guys, obviously, but some girls, I don't know if you know this, some girls are dumb. They're like, and they don't understand. Like, literally, you'll send them the thing and, like, what city is this in? Why don't you look at the invite that I just sent you that tells you what city it's in? And so from that standpoint.
Just like your message.
They're just, yeah. So, again, Bismarck, I agree with the emoji thing. I can see, I use it to simplify things, and also I write real fucking short messages. But the memes thing, I just think he hasn't tried the right memes yet. Because the right memes, like Kylie Meyer sends me a meme every morning. She sends them to me.
Sent me one on this call.
She sends me one all the time. And so that works. I mean, but he is right, though. Most of the time I can tell when a girl likes me when she's sending me memes. So she should be sending more than you. But the thing is, they have to be the right memes. They have to go like real deep.
Here's the thing, though. It's the girls who send the most fucking misogynistic, most fucked up memes. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Memes are such an easy in, though. Like, I can't tell you guys how many times I've just, like, I don't know what to say to my ex, but I want to hang out with him, so I just send him a meme, and then we converse from there. I'm like, boom. It's like a holiday, texting somebody on Thanksgiving.
It's got to be an inside joke. It's got to be an inside joke.
Perfect little
several times I'll send a meme and then I'll get the message back like, hey, what are you up to?
Exactly.
Like, it's just, it works. Because the thing what he's saying is like, who's sitting around looking at memes? Like, you don't have to sit around. Every day there's memes just being thrown at you.
I think his thing is that, like, hey, if you're taking the time to send memes, you're, like, showing intent, you're giving her attention. That's what I think he's
So here's the thing. To some level, to some extent, you have to, like, you have to put some bait in the water to get the fish to come, but you don't want to seem too desperate. I agree with that. Sure. But I think there's a way, like, for instance, if you took it to an extreme, it's like me posting a picture on me on social media winning the Super Bowl is try hard. Like, no, at some point I did win the Super Bowl. At some point I am, I do have a new bench press max. At some point I am driving a Lamborghini. At some point I am flying an airplane. This did happen. So, like, what is that? That's kind of like a meme. Oh, you took the time to take this picture and post it. Like, at some point, like, I understand from his standpoint, it seems try hard. I just don't think that women cognitively see things that way. I think it's just a feeling. They just get a feeling, and if the feeling's a good feeling, then they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And if the feeling's an icky feeling, it doesn't make any difference what meme.
The meme can elicit a feeling.
The meme can elicit a feeling, yeah. Because she's sitting there like pissing herself laughing. Then I just think you just haven't found the right meme. That's the only thing.
All three things that he said in the video make just generalize a character of a man that doesn't care, and I don't know why that's such a popular thing for guys to promote in other guys, is to act like you don't care.
Well, because so here's the thing. I have the same issue. Most of the time we're teaching white belts, and white belt, but white belts. The problem, like for him, Bismarck is right because he's right because one of the things that happens is when I say don't show women that you're too much attention. If a woman's all over me, I can show her that I like her. It's fine. But if a woman is not, then what happens for most guys in most situations is they're going to give her too much attention, and then they're chasing. So most women. 80% of men are deemed below average attractiveness on dating apps. Most women are not interested in most men, and most women think that most men are not creepy, but not worthy of having sex with. And then, so most men chase. And I'm talking in the 90 percentile. In an engagement, most men chase. Now, some of those men are so good looking and have so much game, or have so many alignments, or they're so wealthy that they can get away with chasing, but they're not getting the girl because they're chasing. They're getting the girl in spite of chasing. And so what he's doing is he's teaching white belts. And for white belts, you don't want to chase because most of you are chasing all the time. Like you just like for you guys probably don't know. You guys are attractive. You will go out and guys will come up and you just assume when a guy comes up to you. Like if I were to bet you, a guy comes up to you, Bailey. We're at Excess. Bailey, what is the percent? If I give you $500,000 to place a bet, does he want to fuck you or not want to fuck you? What do you think?
He does.
He does. So like so you don't. So you. The thing is, this is where this is such a great teaching point here. Bailey is expressing to you, she knew you had intent. You didn't have to show her. She knew you wanted to fuck when she woke up this morning. You don't have to tell her. But what you could do instead is do things to generate attraction. And where Bismarck and I will disagree is I think memes actually do generate attraction because they make someone laugh, which is a very, very powerful attraction trigger.
Adds personality.
It does. It adds personality. Especially, it also pushes the boundary on how far you think you can go. Like, Kindly sends me things that there's no way she should send publicly. They're fucking horrible. Horrible memes having to do with death and babies and shit. It's bad. It's really bad. But it's funny, and you can see how far you can go. So anyway, the point is, it's so great. But Bismarck is mostly dealing with white belts, just like me. And white belts show too much intention, and they do too much chasing. There's no necessity to show intent, right? You don't. Women already know you want. You don't even like dudes, and you know dudes want to fuck. Like you don't need them. They don't have to explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like the one guy's like, we go to Oviedo on my plane, and we will make love and drink good wine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like showing that level of intent. If you're the guy with the plane, you know what you should do? You should show intent because you have a fucking plane. Yeah. That's the difference. But guys don't understand that. Most of you are not interesting to most women. And most women have this thought that's going in there. He's another fucking weirdo, creep, weirdo trying to hit on me, wants to show me his dick. Another weirdo, next weirdo. He's a creep. So this is the pattern that's going on in her head. And what you want to do is, bam, you want to pattern interrupt. You want to interrupt that pattern. So I'll walk up to Bailey, and it's like, hey, Bailey, how you doing? And while I do it, another beautiful woman comes up and kisses me on the cheek while I say hi to Bailey. Bailey's like, he's another fuck. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Sold. Just
Wait,
like
sold.
that.
Like what? Wait, who's this girl? Like, why is it? He's another fucking weirdo. He's in the valet trying to talk to me, and then a fucking phantom rolls up, and she's like, wait, what? Wait, hold on. It's a pattern interrupt.
Or especially when they like go up to a friend group and they're eyeballing you. They're like, okay, they're gonna come up to me, but then they talk to your friend.
Yes.
I'm like, oh.
Yes,
what
exactly.
the
They're
hell?
looking right at you, and then they talk to the other girl. Exactly.
That. Good
exactly.
technique.
But having girls with you those are called pattern interrupts. That's what you do instead of showing intent. That's something that white belts can do in order to break that frame. Because what you don't want to be is in the normal frame of right swipe, desperate for pussy, desperate for women, desperate. And more men are falling into that category, which is why Bismarck is he's going to err on the side of show less intent, which he's correct.
Well, the other thing is, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, Bismarck, but I think the other part of this is, since you're teaching quote unquote white belts, the over telegraphing that intent is something that they think more is more, right? So they're just going to keep going more and more and more after that. Now, I was going to say this one thing, and I don't want to sell out. Sterling Cooper or Justin Waller here, but okay, these guys are, let's just say, arguably, they're black belts, okay, and I have been when they were living together and roommates in Miami. they would show me their inboxes for their DMs, for their Instagrams, and for all the social media that they're on. Now, they are all about emojis, but they're all about really odd emojis.
Yeah.
Like strange, like a
pattern interrupt.
like a black heart and a skull. Right, like some of the stuff, and he's like, watch, I'm about to do this, and he was right there. He was interacting with one of the girls, and they, of course, they open him because it's Justin Waller, right? But he'll say, he's like, I can get laid with this chick anytime I want to. All I got to do is do this emoji and this emoji right here, and he's like, watch, in 5 minutes she'll come back and go, why did you do that emoji, right? And so that generates the conversation. It's like when I give you the black heart, it means that like I want to see you that night. It's like like this inside joke or this inside language that he has with the girl.
I used to have a technique that I did with some guys. I should do it with you at some point, where you can only respond with emojis. Like the only thing you have to have a message to meet at a certain time, but only you can use emojis. It's really interesting how it works. And like you'll like spell out some numbers and then a cup of coffee to like figure out where she's supposed to go. Yeah. It's just another handicap. Let's keep going.
But it's not as lame as like like an eggplant and like a little splash or something. Everybody knows that.
No,
right?
those are funny when you're like, hey, how was your date with that dude last night? And it's like some fat dude, and then you put the eggplant emoji with a little splash. That's when you use the emoji. That's when you use it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your friend was so fun, and then it's like the melting face. Like those are funny. That's the one.
It's like using emojis that nobody else uses, and then it becomes sort of like this inside language, inside joke between you and just that chick.
Yeah. Same with memes. They become an inside language too.
Right.
For sure.
All right, Bailey, send me horrible memes tomorrow. Will you do that?
I will. I definitely will.
See if you can push.
I've got some bad ones.
Bailey, if you send memes that are horrible enough, we'll hire you as a closer on our sales team.
Done.
Go ahead.
That's the Friendzone guy?
Yeah, female friends.
Is it this one?
If you're a man out there that's watching this, you
no, we already
need
did that
to
one.
start friendzoning.
Here we go. This one.
Wrong one. Hold on. Oh, that one. Sorry. Let me get it. This one. Okay. Here we go.
Here's why owning a Ferrari makes it harder to be intimate with women, not easier. And keep in mind, this is coming from a guy who started in a 1998 Nissan Frontier pickup when I was like 17 years old. When I had a normal, average, everyday vehicle, the funny thing is that when I would go out on dates, the women would not expect anything from me. Therefore, they never felt the need to actually withhold intimacy until later dates occurred. Here's what I mean. Now, when I drive a sports car and I go out on a date, women see resources, women are going to see a signal of status, women are going to see potential financial security. And because of that, they do this one thing. They say, you know what, I'm going to wait a few dates or maybe even 4 or 5 dates to be intimate with this guy, because what she's trying to do is frame the situation as being relationship quality. Therefore, she starts acting differently. Therefore, the entire dynamic between myself and that woman changes. This is why I created a movement of men to actually learn and master the language of women. So be sure to hit the link in my description for more.
Everybody's got one.
This was sent to me, I'm not going to say who, but by one of the most prominent wealthy people in all of Clark County. And I sat down and had a meeting with him. We were talking about this, and he mentioned that he was having the exact same issue. Once he got a car, and I can't tell you which car it is, because if I do, you guys will probably all know who he is. But once he had this issue, he's like, before they were just sleeping with me immediately, and then now that I bought this car, then all of a sudden now that they withhold things. Have you ever experienced anything like that, Samrina?
I need to think about this. I don't think so.
I have universally seen this where a girl, like, we had Weston Corica, he came on the show and he said, once I got girls up to my penthouse, it was so clear. Like, they were DTF, and then they got up there and they're like, oh, I need to make you my boyfriend. This has happened before. Bailey, have you ever experienced something like this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I have. I think I read this maybe in your book. I don't know. I could be wrong. But it's
you
like...
know a lot of game. I've noticed that.
Thank you. But, like, some guys see girls as sex objects, but some girls see guys as success objects.
Right.
So... Once they see you, like I see a guy as a success object, I'm not sleeping with him right away because just to be honest with you, I kind of want to build a future with you. And some guys, if you sleep with them on the first night, they're like, okay, she's a hoe. She could never be my future wife.
Okay, Myron.
So
okay, Myron. Yeah.
Yeah, I play the game. I try to play the game.
Thank you, Myron. All right, nice. All right. Vicious?
Yeah. I mean...
You've seen that before?
I mean, yeah. And also, to be honest, when I was engaged, we didn't have any interactions sex
you are telling us right now, since in case the rest of you cannot hear this shit, you were engaged to a motherfucker and did not have sex with him. Is that what you're saying?
4 months.
For 4 months. So from the time, did you have sex with him at all before you got married?
No.
You're telling me you were engaged for 4 months, and at no point did you have sexual intercourse with him until your wedding day?
No. I'm saying like.
You had sex with him, then you got engaged, and then stopped having sex with him.
No. Okay, this is the story. We were going out, but like I just told him like I wasn't ready, and I just wanted to like because I was coming out of like a relationship that was like really like traumatizing. So like I basically just like was like I'm not ready to like energetically.
When
like,
did you
take
have sex
on
with the
your
dude?
energy. When he proposed to me.
So you were with him for 4 months, then he proposed, then you started having sex with him.
Yes.
So
there you go, guys.
You got the proposal.
That's how you do
and then
it. When you hear these girls are like, I've been engaged 7 times. That's why.
But did
now
you
you
only
understand.
engaged once.
Okay,
so-
good job.
But you didn't get married. You were just engaged.
Yes, we didn't get married.
Okay. So he proposed, you had sex, and you didn't get married.
We didn't get married. It's a situation.
Let me help you guys. Cubic zirconium. Cubic zirconium. That's how you do it. Bump. Base hit right there. Nice. I'm not recommending any of this. I'm just saying that guys that previously, I would never do that, but I'm saying, this is my grandma's wedding ring. I love you so much.
Giving honesty.
I just know so many girls, and they all live out in Los Angeles or fucking Orange County, and they've been engaged 4 times. How is that fucking possible to be engaged 4 times and you've never been married? No, dudes are trying to secure like your vagina like a 401k. That's what's going on. That's all that's happening. They're trying to secure the vagina. That's it. That you got, ladies, do better. Do fucking better. I'm not saying that's what happened in your case, but I'm saying do better, ladies. So, like, I've been engaged. Men like me so much, I've been engaged 5 times. What? That is wrong. There's something wrong.
That's a metric.
You should not be engaged 5 times.
It's a litmus test.
So wait.
3, at least 3 times. At least 3 times. How many times have you been engaged?
I was married.
Okay, there we go.
To a girl.
So is he
to a dude?
Yeah.
That was
if you married, dude, I will absolutely come to the wedding.
And we haven't had sex for 2 years.
After or before?
After or before?
Before.
You made him wait 2 years?
Was it a religious thing, or were you just like, okay? Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you a question. You made this dude wait 2 years. Do you not think, ladies, isn't there a point at which you make a guy wait and you start thinking there's something wrong with him? Is that ever cross your mind, Bailey?
Here's the thing. Did you let him like sleep with other women?
I was in the religion, and it was like a little bit different.
Okay.
Kind of mindset. I had.
Yeah. You're Orthodox?
No.
Oh, okay. So, ladies, do you understand what I'm saying? San Marino, you had a guy who waits a year to have sex with you. At some point, are you like, hey, bro, what's wrong with you? Do you ever think that?
Yeah, I do. I don't think that's possible for a guy.
Yeah, but like the thing is, if you got a guy to actually play along for a year, at some point you need to get ready for the micro penis. Like, I don't know what you think is going to happen.
At some point he's gay.
At some lady, do you understand?
Yeah,
Making
yeah,
a guy wait,
yeah.
I get. Most guys are desperate for sex, right? Was it a third of guys under the age of 24 are virgins or some shit like that? I haven't had sex in a year. I forgot what the numbers are. We're talking in somewhere between the 15 and 25% of men who haven't had sex in the last year under the age of 30, stuff like that. And under the age of 30, 63% of men are single. So men are just like more covetous of sex than women are. I totally understand that. And I get guys waiting 2 or 3, 4 dates for an attractive woman. I totally understand. I wouldn't do it, but I understand why guys would do it. But my point is, a year, like at 2, 3, 4, 5 months, if I was a woman, I'd be like, wow, I made this guy wait for 5 months. This is going to be the worst.
He's the kind of guy who will wait for
This is the kind of guy who waits for 5 months. This is going to be the worst dick of my life. Nobody clip that. This is going to be the worst penis in history. You made this motherfucker wait for 5 months. At some point, you understand, if a guy comes by and banging on your door every day to try to sell you some aluminum siding, at some point, you got to realize this aluminum siding is shit, because you should have sold it by now to somebody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So fellas, like,
yeah, it's like the longer you make him wait, it's almost like he becomes more attractive to you. That's what would happen, right?
No, the longer you make him wait, the less attractive he becomes.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, the less attractive he becomes to the woman.
No, it's like it has a point. Like if he's down to wait like 2 or 3 dates, I could see some attraction. But if you make a guy wait 5 dates and he just doesn't even trip at all and he's not fucking other women, I'm sorry, ladies, this is just my opinion, but I think there's a part of your brain that's like, what is wrong with this dude that nobody else wants him, that he's waiting 5 dates for some vagina, some mystery vagina? Yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong?
Does no other woman want
If I wasn't canceled before, I am canceled for sure now, because that is some truth right there. Mooncat, you can clip that shit right there and be like, that was evolutionary psychology. Look at that.
Well, I mean, once again, it's like women make rules for beta males, and they break rules for alpha males, right? So when we're looking at like, people are going to run me up the flagpole for this anyways, but like in my book, thank you very much, the Iron Rule of Tomasi number 3, right? Any woman that makes you wait for sex, the sex is never worth the wait. People think that that's me advocating for like guys just looking for loose women. You just want loose women? You just want girls who are just going to fuck you on the first date? And I mean, I could quote Sterling Cooper here and say, well, that's actually a compliment if a woman knows that you are that high value and you are that much of a catch that she's ready to break her rules to have sex with you on that first date or like the second date, whatever, within a certain time frame, then at least he says that that's sort of a compliment to him, as rather than like, oh, I don't think that she's necessarily loose. But the thing is that rule is not about the sex. It's about the genuine desire. And it gets back to what you're saying right here, which is if that guy is the kind of guy who is willing to wait, what happens in a woman's head is like, this is the kind of guy that no other bitch wants. And if you want a high value guy, by the way, let me give it to you straight here, Rumble. A high value man is the guy that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. And if that guy doesn't seem like he's a guy that other women want to fuck, and he's willing to wait and he's willing to like, he is optionless. He is necessitous, and that's not the kind of guy that women want to get with.
Yeah, and it's not even about the sex; it is about the desire. Like I was with a dude only for 5 dates. And we were alone in the bedroom, alone in the hot tub. Like, come on. Never once did he even try anything.
Yeah, but he didn't try. Like, you would have fucked earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have. But he just, like, wouldn't even, like, just nothing. I was like, all right, it's on him then.
I'm going to tell you, I shouldn't be telling this story. My most recent relationship, she told me, so we ended up together on, like, the second time we hung out, but the third day we knew each other. And we were at a resort in Mexico. She was a bikini competition. She was a competitor. And the first night, I asked her, like, we've been living together for a year, and I said, hey, would you have hooked up with me that first night if I had just, like, he's like, yeah, I wish you would have grabbed me, and we hooked up on the first night. And I'm like, no, that was a trick question. There's no fucking way you would have been okay with that. She's like, yeah, I would have been okay with that. And then she starts telling me, I think you would have been hot when you were 21 years old. And I'm like, you are out of your fucking mind. You would have never dated me when I was 21. And the first night we met, if I had tried to have sex with you, you would have called the police on me. You're crazy. That is crazy. But she goes back and retcons in her mind that she always felt the same way about me. And it's really weird when I hear that. It is really cool. It is really. I remember one day I went on a date with a girl. We went to like 2 or 3 places, came back, and like we'd been hooking up for like over a year. And one day I said, "Hey, do you remember our first date?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, if I just brought you home immediately, like literally no date, and we just tried to have sex immediately, she goes, "Yeah, I just would have had sex with you." And I don't believe her. I just really think in her mind she feels so comfortable. She's reverse engineering that she was comfortable the whole time. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that?
Because I think women have a comfort in seduction process that they have to go through, and if they can get through it, some girls can't get through it, so they use Coke and Molly, and they use tequila and stuff like that to get through it. Some girls need that as part of their seduction process, and like I think women should have a seduction. But please understand, for those of you guys out there like, no, they should all fuck on the first date. If your girl doesn't have any seduction process, she is a porn star. Like that's a girl with a 900 body count. Like women need to be picky. You should like have to do, bro. Let me tell you something. If a girl comes up to you at a club and you don't put in any work and she is just DTF as shit, get ready for the penis that is in between her legs, bro. Yeah. Slow down. Women, you should have to do. I feel like you should have to do some work for it. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel like as a man, you should have to do some work.
When a girl comes up to you in a nightclub, that's a hooker. Just so you know, that's a hooker.
Yeah.
Every single time.
For sure.
Beautiful.
I've seen these religious memes where like they'll say like sometimes it's even like one of these little inspirational pictures and stuff they have up where it's like, I wish I would have met you sooner so we could have fallen in love, and I could have loved you longer, kind of thing. And every time I see one of these things, now they're kind of like this meme right now, but every time I see one of those, I'm like, no, you don't. There's no way she would have had anything to do with you if you'd met her earlier than that, because the process that got you from point A to point B only existed from that point where you met that person. And when I was
my girlfriend's age, I was dumb. I was 178 pounds. And I was broke as a joke. There's no fucking way. There is no. I couldn't even grow a beard. Like the idea that she would have been into me is hilarious. She looks at these pictures of me when I was in like a nerdy kid. I was the captain of the debate team and the chess team and the football team. And she's like, "You're so cute." And I'm like, "You wouldn't have pissed on me if I was on fire. You're crazy. You were like the head cheerleader, hottest girl. You're out of your mind. You wouldn't have looked at me twice."
I know. I love that. I love that. I got a super chat here. Word of advice, ladies: you want to keep your man. Stop checking to see if he's cheating, and start checking to see if he is happy.
Oh, that's an interesting one. You guys understand? So here's the way it works. Below, like men are of lower status, the most important thing you can bring them is being physically attractive. That's why men are addicted to porn. That's why guys look at Instagram photos, and they'll do anything for a level of physical. You know, Bailey. There's probably men who would do anything. You could ask them anything, and they would do it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, when you get to a certain level where you've been with women that are that attractive, what becomes more important is peace. And it's confusing because you're so used to men being infatuated by your looks that when you date a guy who's been with 50 or 100 women and then he's dating you and he's like, "Hey, listen, I still think you're beautiful, but it's more interested in me being able to get this work done so I can get my company to 8 or 9 figures. And you need to be you need to be in the program helping me do that. Don't fuck with my sleep. Don't fuck with my workout, and don't fuck with my work. Don't attack me. Don't accuse me, and don't exaggerate." And you bring that peace. When you're dealing with high status men, peace is up here and looks are down here. When you're dealing with low status men, all they care about is looks. And the reason, and also you'll see this when men are lower status when they're in college. Lower status college broke men are down to fuck hotter women and don't care about her political affiliations or her religion. They don't even care if she has an STD at that point.
Or her last name.
Or her last name. They don't care at all when it comes to that. When you're lower status, looks are everything. And then as you gain in status as a man, then peace becomes the most important thing. She's the chief peace officer, like Sterling Cooper said. She's the CPO, chief peace officer in my company.
Yeah, especially when you have high anxiety jobs to begin with.
For sure.
Yeah. All I got from that video, by the way, is that I need to switch off from my Camaro to my Tacoma now.
Yeah,
because apparently that's the key to success. All right, what's the next one? That was a really good one. Which one is it? Okay, got it. Here we go.
So I'm 38 and I am just now hitting my stride. I am just now figuring things out. Like I am just now being invited on the yacht.
Oh, wait, stop real quick. How old did he say he was?
38.
Thank you.
Shout out to Rich Summers. Rich is coming to the bikini competition. By the way, the last video.
Shout out to Mac and Murphy also, who said that's not when guys hit their stride.
Yeah, so a couple things. It's so funny because
truth to that.
It's so funny because 10 years from now, Mac and Murphy's gonna be like, "Yeah, 38, I'm crushing it." So here's the thing. Shout out before I finish. Casey Zander was in that last video in the Ferrari. He's coming on my show next month. Shout out to Casey Zander. And then also in this one right here is Rich Summers. If you guys want to go check out, Rich Summers is a real estate specialist in San Diego, and he specializes in boutique hotels. It's really cool. If you live in a place where Airbnb is kind of getting fucked over, they get into boutique hotels. Anyway, Rich, I forgot who sent me this. It might have been Rich, but this is a really good quote.
All right, here we go.
So I'm 38 and I am just now hitting my stride. I am just now figuring things out. Like I am just now being invited on the yachts and like these cool parties and like all of a sudden people want to hang out with me, right? But it was never like that before. But like, you know, as a guy, like I had to like grind and like build my thing. And then just now people are like, "Oh, I want to hang out," you know? And even girls that didn't give me time of day like 5 years ago, now they're like in the DMs, they want to hang out all of a sudden, right? So I'm just now getting a taste of like what that's like. But like a girl could be 22 and hot and she's invited on a yacht, right? A guy has to build all this stuff, and then maybe at 38, maybe he has to buy the yacht to be on the yacht, right? And so that's the biggest difference.
Kind of sounds like a certain graphics this Yahoo Red Pill guy produced back in 2013.
So I think that where Mac and Murphy is kind of right on this is like that's not most 38-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most 38-year-old dudes are like rich or they're fucking going on the decline.
This is the thing, and I've heard this before. I'm 46 years old. And in comparison to other 46 years old, most of my friends who are 46 are obese. They're just slightly obese or they're extremely obese. And I play basketball every day, and I'm in the gym 7 days a week, and I do things that are active. And I think what's happened is there's advantages to being older, which is an accumulation of wealth, experience, social networking. I'm the guy that if you want to get hooked up in Vegas, I'm the guy you call. And that took time for me to get there. But what should happen at 46 is I should get fatter, my testosterone level should drop. I should have less vigor. I should be able to
Should be
not
wearing
be able
Dockers and a nice brown shirt.
No, nice brown shirt. I shouldn't dress well. I shouldn't have
the
muscles.
dog in the fucking
I
house
shouldn't be able.
and
I shouldn't be able to have sex for 4 hours. Like
Cut
all
your
these
hair,
things.
you shouldn't be jacked.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They should be happening.
Yeah.
And I think where Mackin is right is that if you are a guy who's older, but like Michael Hearn, Jesus Christ, the guy looks incredible for 55.
Yeah, but that's not most.
That's my point.
Yeah,
That's my point.
yeah.
Like Michael Hearn at 55 would take all of our girls.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking ridiculously good. The Rock at 51, he's stealing your girl. And the point is, the 51 doesn't hurt him. Actually looking like that, dude. This is where I differ a lot because some of my guy friends are super into very young girls. When I see a girl who's in her 30s and she just looks incredible, in my mind, I'm like, that's really good genetics. That's really good genetics. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of these things where it's like at being older, if you look like a typical. Do you guys realize? You guys ever watch All in the Family? Archie Bunker.
I did.
You remember Archie Bunker? You remember
like,
that?
What?
Yeah, a lot of people. Archie Bunker and me were the same fucking age. What,
Yeah.
bro? Archie Bunker was fat and gray-haired and bald. The same
46.
fucking age, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Dude, 46 back in the 1970s, you look like you were about to die. And like from all the smoking and drinking and shit.
It's true.
So what I'm saying is I don't think they're wrong, but I'm saying now you've got macros you can count, cold plunge, TRT. You can do intermittent fasting. You got the steam room and the sauna. You have all these things that you can do. You got peptides. You can take IGF. You can take some glutide. Whatever's your fucking peptides
There's
of
more
choice.
ways to stay young.
There's so many ways to stay. Now, I'm not saying live to like 200, but there's so many ways to be good looking in your 40s.
So I did a full episode on this because Mackin was like coming at me for, literally like did a full episode coming at me for saying that women hit their peak at 23, which is, I think he pretty much agreed with that as far as their sexual market value peak years.
23?
23, yes, between 22 and 24, right in there. Okay, that's when the peak happens. So, but the thing is the things that make a woman her maximum potential for her sex appeal, for the maximum potential for what makes her attractive, is always at 23. The reason why I quote that is because for studies like there's a book called Dataclysm where they will go and they'll do these polls for all of their user base from like Match.com, OkCupid, and all these other dating sites. They'll say, at what age do you find women the most attractive? Across the board, from a guy who's like 15 years old to a guy who's 95 years old, they all say right around 22, 23, 24. So that's why I'm pegging it at that, okay? For men, the things that make a man maximally attractive do not happen until that guy he's got his shit together, he's got his business together, he's made partner in the law firm, he's a surgeon, he's gone through his residency, he's got money, he's got experience, he's a better judge of character, he has all of the things. When you say, what do you want in a guy? I want him to be funny, he's got to be smart, he's got to love his mom, he's like puppy dogs, he's going to have kids, he's got all this big laundry list of things. That guy at 25 doesn't have that. The guy at 35, 36, 37, more likely to have that than at 25.
Yeah.
So when I say, here's the confusion. Everybody says, well, you're in much better shape when you're 26 than when you're 36. I said, yeah, if you're not a fat fuck. So all the guys that, like, if you have everything that is a huge attraction for a woman, the guy that's going to have, he's going to be the more complete package if he maximizes his potential right around where he's going to be hitting his stride at 36, 37, or 38 years old. That's why I'm drawing attention to this, because that's exactly what I said almost 12 years ago in The Rational Male.
Bro, if you saw
what is the most like sexually attractive age for men? What is it?
So here's the thing. Here's the point.
There's a lot of debate.
It doesn't
about that.
matter anymore. Yeah. The point is, it doesn't matter. Wes Watson just hit 40, and if you saw the DMs that this guy gets from fucking women, it's crazy. So that's the thing. It doesn't matter anymore. I will tell you this. I moved here at 33, and now I'm 46 to Vegas. I've been here 13 years, and I get way more inbox DMs from random girls now, 100x more than I did when I was 33. Why is that, though? But it's because an increase in status, but I didn't lose, not youth is the wrong word, but I didn't lose the virality of youth, but I included it with the advantages of experience and age.
Like aging gracefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, which is why I believe, and I've said this before, that I think exogenous testosterone is going to be made illegal here pretty soon, because what we're doing is we're making older, wiser men too powerful. They're talking too loud, and their penises are too hard, and they have young, hot girlfriends, and they're making too much money, and they're still running their companies. And what's supposed to happen is the 46-year-old guy is supposed to move over for the 23-year-old associate who moves into the firm, and he's willing to work his ass off. But now the 46-year-old guy is on fucking 100 mgs of test every week, and he's taking IGF-1, and he's taking Cimarillin and Tesamorillin, and the guy is fucking young.
46-year-olds I grew up with are not the same 46-year-olds I see now.
Yeah,
it's not. It's completely night and day.
And so this is happening, and so like, wait, hold on, old man, hold on, old timer. You're supposed to move over, and I'm like, no, I'm on stage with Deadmau5 every fucking weekend. Like, I'm not moving over. I'm not slowing down. I know I'm supposed to, but I'm not. And so I think what's happened is that's why I think we're gonna get to a point where it's like, there's too many virile experience. Just think about taking the experience and the money you have when you're older as a man, and then putting 19-year-old testosterone into you. Bro, it's dangerous. Now you're fucking triple threat. You're LeBron at that point. And that's why I think it's such an advantage. That's why I think in the future we're gonna see people on the left saying exogenous testosterone needs to be made illegal.
I get this all the time.
Beauty Cat will be the first one to make a video.
Well, yeah. Well, when people when guys come at me, they want to throw hate at me because they know that I'm like 56 years old, right? So they look at me and they go, hey man, when are you gonna start acting your age? When are you gonna stop, doing like what a guy your age doesn't look like that, doesn't dress like he's a 14-year-old kid, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, so if that's the case, tell me what you think I should look like. Like, tell me, give me some style points here, like Dockers and some loafers and a nice, sensible, button down and tie my hair back like I'm a deacon in the church or something. Is that what you think that because I want to know in your mind, what does a 56-year-old guy look like? Because I think we've changed the rules recently, especially in the 21st century right now.
Sure.
Because he's 10 years younger than I am. Sterling Cooper's 10 years younger than he is. And like, if I'm talking to these guys, I'm not going, oh, well, back in my day, we used to, eat rocks, and we were thankful for those, right? Like, is that what you think I ought to be? Like, is that what do you think? Well, like, give me the cartoon character of what you think I ought to be. And the thing is if I turned into that, would you have more respect for me because I did what you fucking told me to do? Probably not. The reason why they have such a problem with this is exactly what he's saying. Because if you look, what's the new study that just came out recently where they said twice as many men are single than women are right now?
So under the age of 30, it is 63% of men and 33% of women are single.
And so people say, well, what are these women doing? Are they fucking the same guy? No. Well, they're probably going with the guy who's out of that demographic, out of that age cohort.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Older,
I have
right?
no idea what you're talking about.
And so if that's the case, if more women are going for guys who are older, and I don't necessarily say they got to be 10 or 20 years older. I'm saying maybe they're 6, 7, just out of that age cohort. The fact of the matter is if that's what's happening and you see that happening, you've got to find some psychological mechanism to sort of confront that so that you're basically, you're not mate guarding, but you're potential mate guarding because those bitches should be yours and not some 46-year-old guy who goes in is on stage with Deadmau5.
I am the problem. Do you guys understand? Yeah. You guys know during 9/11, I sat there and watched the whole thing happen. I was working at a gentleman's club. I was managing it. And I came into work and I saw the second tower fall. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. And my girlfriend was born 2 months later. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
You guys just asked us about the white Bronco with OJ and stuff, and we're like, yeah,
I watched
remember
every
that?
minute of
no
the white
one
Bronco.
in the whole place remembered it.
I have a question for you guys. If you had to choose a number or an age for when you hit your stride, as he says in the video, what would it be for you guys? Or have you not
For
hit
me,
it yet?
you won't believe this, but it's 46. Like, I am stronger.
46.
I may not be faster now because I keep getting hurt, but I'm stronger than I ever
Mac
was
and
now.
Murphy would say that's cope, and you're trying to compensate.
No. But the thing with Mackin is it wouldn't be cope except for the fact that I had no ability to maintain muscle mass when I was younger. And I was just so poor athletically. Like, there was certain issues that I had when I was younger that I overcame when I got into better shape later. So I'll give you one thing. The U.S. Air Force does not promote healthy eating, or at least they didn't when I was in there. And the worst shape I ever got into when I was air crew flying 500 hours, that was the worst shape I've ever gotten into. So Mackin may be, but the reason why I'm saying it's not cope is because I chose to get into better shape now. I could definitely not be at my peak now had I not chose to go to the gym 90 minutes a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. Now, in my book, I have said this already, that the peak years for guys to have, assuming they maximize their potential, okay? That means money, muscles, and game, okay? So the guys still have to be in good shape. Is he going to be in as good shape as he was when he was 26? Probably not, but he can still make a good stab at it. And there's a lot of guys who understand their bodies and the physiques and diet and working out and everything a whole lot better 10 years later than they did when they were in their 20s. So so the possibility still exists that they can be very, physically attractive. Now, he's also going to have more going for him, or he's hitting his stride at that point where he has finally got the things that make him more maximally attractive, which is like he made partner in the law firm, or he's got his business down, or he's a surgeon now, whatever it is. So there's the money part of it. And then also he's a better judge of character. He has better conversational skills, hopefully has developed better social skills. And through a process of dating, non-exclusively, he understands women's nature. He understands his nature.
Experience.
And he's more likely at 36, 37 years old, 38 years old to have those things that make him the complete package than he would possibly have been able to have when he was at 25. That's why I peg it at about 36. Now, if I was going to be really an old guy trying to cope, I would say 56, but I have never said that, and it's only been 36 in my book ever. So,
What's funny on that, when a lot of, especially from what I've learned being around a lot of these guys, is that when I go to Miami, or if friends who are my age, we go to Miami, or we go to Vegas, we go to LA, if our age comes up, don't talk about it. Yeah. Worst case, just lie. Just say you're 30-something.
Best advice Pat Campbell ever gave me. It actually works the
other way around, too.
Best advice Pat Campbell ever said. He says, never talk about your age. Unless somebody and he said, never talk about it like lie. I do all the time. Of course, I break the rules.
You must be like 30. I'm like, yeah. Totally. 100%.
And I'm not against, everybody knows I'm 56 years old, right? But I'm not against that, because I know I'm in the top 2 percentile for guys who are my age. So it's not a big deal.
And that's what you should talk about. That's what you should, because I get guys who are like, oh, man, Michael, you don't know what it's like. I'm 41, and these bitches out here are crazy. And I'm like, bitch, I'm 56. I'm 46. What are you talking about? I do know what it's like, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's the only reason why I would bring it up, because I'm an instructor.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
There we go.
What's the next one we want to do? Oh, speaking of which.
There we go. Let's bang it out here.
Okay.
We got more videos?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
A lot more videos.
Oh, yeah.
We are all the same age in GTA.
Yes.
That was home math, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Serious question for the men and the men only. Why the are y'all so good at being friends, but you suck as boyfriends? Please. We need answers.
I am so glad you asked. That is a fascinating question with a fascinating answer. Sorry, this is for something else. And the answer, of course, is this shit. You know about money, don't you? I'm sure you remember it from the last time someone gave it to you for free. So the reason that it's easier for us to be your friends is that it doesn't cost money.
Amen.
Relationships cost money. You know about money, right? Have you ever earned money? Have you ever had a job? Was it really hard? Me too. Did it pay enough? Me neither. So then we don't have enough money to be a good boyfriend. We used to earn more than you. This would be the female average and the male average right there. And you were looking for men who made more than you, which was easy when men made more than you. But you didn't like that. You wanted equal pay, and now that you have it, you are still looking for, just like before, men who make more than you. So when we made more than you, we could give you some of it, and that was the act of being a good boyfriend. Now that we make the same, we still have to give you some, which most of us cannot afford anymore, because the average guy no longer has what the average girl is looking for. This large number of women here, this tall line, is pursuing this small number of men here, this short line. Whereas before, the average woman who was looking for more than she had a much higher percentage of men to pick from. So all of these dynamics, all of this stuff about how money has changed the dating market, those things do not matter if we are friends, because this is not what friends are. If I had a friend and it cost me money to be her friend, I would stop being her friend. I have dated a lot of women. I have also had a lot of female friends. Do you know what the difference is? Number one, we don't Number two, they never say things like, you never take me anywhere exciting. You remember Robbie? He bought jewelry for his friend. That part of the relationship is missing. I once had a really good friendship with a woman. She was married. They both had money, and I did not. So when we would hang out, she would buy things for me because that's what friends do. That's why I was able to be a good friend, because it was not out of my price range. Women seem not to understand that they cost money, that being a good boyfriend means transferring monetary value. And nobody has money anymore. It's been a relentless 50-year decline.
We need answers.
The answer's really simple. Think about how hard it is for you to go to work and get paid enough to afford stuff. And then just remember that you are stuff that we can no longer afford. Men have to work. We do not just have magic money printers, at least not all of us. So yeah, the answer is money. This is the situation now. You cost too much. We cannot do this anymore because we do not have this anymore. I hope that helps.
I'm surprised he wasn't in that video.
That's so funny.
I'm so happy that video's over. His
This
voice
is my
so
favorite psychologist in the world.
You don't like Homath's voice?
I do not.
Homath is the
I'm
shit.
like, thank God his
Homath is one of my
voice- thank God
favorite
the
people.
video's over. His voice is just so annoying.
Have you all seen his stuff before?
Yes, I watched
we
his whole
put him on.
Instagram. That shit's funny.
Did you see my interview with him?
No.
Yeah, you should watch my interview with
Oh
Homath.
my God, I will.
Yeah,
That's funny.
he's great. I'm gonna have him come out here, but you guys are
I
never
wanna
gonna meet
meet
him.
him.
No, you can't meet him because he's never gonna show his face.
I hope he doesn't talk like that in like real life situations.
No, he's not that monotone. He's just
he's doing it for fun.
Okay.
Is he
He's
like
talking to
speaking to a
kindergartens.
device, or that's him making like a voice like Greg does?
No, he's just
Okay.
monotone. It's a character.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's he breaks down a lot of stuff that's been going on. Like we've been talking about this stuff in the Manosphere forever. Like Aaron Clary talks about exactly these same mechanics. He just makes it entertaining because it's almost like watching a cartoon, right?
Yeah.
And that's why he's like way more relatable, I think. But these are like concepts that we like. Aaron in particular has been covering really since like the early 2010s, I think. And it's interesting that even in like 2024 we have to re-explain this stuff, right? Like this is and
now it's offensive to explain stuff like this.
And maybe the ladies will understand this, or maybe not. But the thing is like what will happen is when women see this, or feminists see this, or women are watching this, and they want to be critical of this, say, well, it doesn't take money. It doesn't take money to have my love. It doesn't take money. Oh, that's so mercenary. That's so just like a sexual marketplace. It's not about that. It's about emotions. It's about feels and everything else. And then, of course, what they do, they're still looking for guys who are high status guys. They're looking for a guy who's, and if they're not, they're looking for a guy who's physically more high status, like a Chippendales dancer.
Yep. Yeah, it takes money. Not only the money, it's also like the time. Like if my friend wants to go out and I don't, I'll just leave him on red, or I'll just leave him on delivered. I'll be like, nah, not today. But if you're in a relationship, I've compromised so much sleep to just get into an argument with a significant other that I would never do with a friend. So it's like money on the forefront for sure, but time, and like how we talked about earlier, like peace. I don't really have to compromise my peace for my friends ever, because I'll just tell them like, no, not tonight, fuck off. But for a relationship, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then he and I sort of, I don't necessarily 100% disagree with him when it comes to like, can men and women be friends? Okay. If you're fucking them, you can be their friends.
Yes.
But the white belts are the guys that I talk to when I'm talking about like friendship and stuff, because most of those guys think.
What do you mean by white belts?
Well, by white belts, like guys who are like more blue pill dudes, like guys who don't know any better, will think that friendship is a form of game as opposed to having it be something that facilitates it, as opposed to like, if I just stick it out and I can prove to her and prove my quality to Milady, then she's going to see me as the perfect boyfriend. And what happens is that's when you get friend zoned. That's when you turn into an emotional tampon. And that's why when I talk about, when I'm talking about like, intersexual friendships, the problem that I have, and maybe more to his point as well, is that models of friendship between women and men are different. So when a woman says, or says, hey, can we just be friends? And you go, yeah, of course we can just be friends. I think maybe we just keep it platonic, right? You wanted to fuck, but she doesn't want to. Now you're in the friend zone, right? The thing is her model of friendship is based on whatever her friends are with her girlfriends. If you start communicating with her as her girlfriends, she sees you, her lizard brain or hind brain sees you as a girlfriend. So what happens is when guys get into these intersexual friendships with women, they start to communicate as if they're one of the girlfriends. So of course one of my
then they never get the girl anyway.
Well, one of the maxims of my book is that women have boyfriends and girlfriends. If you're not fucking her, you are her girlfriend, because what happens is those guys tend to communicate as if they are they speak female language, right? And what happens is her hindbrain says, well, he's a girlfriend. He's not somebody that I would ever want to fuck. He's not anybody that I would ever want to have. We're just platonic. We're just friends, right? Until you try to shoot your shot again, and suddenly the stuffed animal gets a hard on. You're like, this stuffed animal was so nice. You're my friend, and now you're tricking me the whole time. Then there's that sort of like betrayal. Then there's that sort of like, well, guys can never be nice. Guys are like, why do guys try to be nice when they're not really nice and they just want to fuck you? It's like, you knew it. You put him in the friend zone, and now suddenly he wants to shoot his shot once again when he thinks he's built up enough friendship equity, so that he can finally move to intimacy, and it never happens because there was never anything there in the first place.
Yeah. So. I feel like sometimes girls not always, but girls know that, like, deep down, even if he's a friend, like, he still wants to fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've known that about dudes that I'm, like, friends with, but I'm like, I still like to keep you as a friend because I know
but you
deep
get the
down
attention.
You wanna, exactly.
And they actually end up becoming a good friend.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a friend like that, and then all of a sudden he gets a girlfriend, or you see him around other girls?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
that's
but you start having a feeling like,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't realize I was kind of attracted to the fact that,
it sparks
Isn't
up
it
a
crazy?
little something.
It does spark a little something.
For sure.
MOAmentoring.com.
MOAmentoring.com. He's a simp, but he's my simp.
Wait, so I have a question.
Yep.
In regard to this video, right? Based off the way things are now, there's no way that they're going to reduce the pay of women to balance out this dynamic.
No.
So what happens now in dating?
So if you were to ask Homath or Richard Cooper, it's just we're on the Titanic and
We
it's going
wait
down.
for the meteor.
Yeah, the meteor's coming.
Okay.
But for me, I'm like, I am the lifeboat. Like I look at certain self-help groups and even a personal trainer or a really good book list or learning actually how to talk to women. I look at that ways of like creating like a group of Navy SEALs or an actual lifeboat, a life preserver. I think it's never been easier to get in that top 15% of men, but the entire world is teaching men to not be in that top 15% of men, and that you're insecure and weird. Like a great example, if you guys ever watched the Barbie movie, Ken in that movie, ironically, does everything correctly. He like leaves Barbie. He's like, fuck this. She doesn't want a relationship with me. I'm going to go do my own shit. I'm going to take over. I'm a badass. And the whole time he's made fun of and derided for actually acting correctly. And so it's a perfect example. Is like Ken choosing to not be belittled and fucking humiliated by Barbie. The movie paints him like he's immature. No, he's not. He's not. Now, the character was immature, but what he did was correct. And so men are deliberately being taught incorrectly. If you choose to ignore this incredible cloud of media that's stuck on you that keeps telling you to do things wrong, it's so easy to get in the top 15% now.
Yeah, and also like with average income being $30,000 a year, it's been easier to get past that. So there's room for more people at the top than we think.
Yeah. Well, do men get taught to just be thoughtful instead of looking at it materially? You know
what do you mean?
Instead of it being something like, well, how she said in the video, well, you bought, this guy bought his girl diamonds and this and that, but like, has anyone ever try to think about it or tell
something
men
beyond the material
that it's actually like something material paired with something thoughtful is what matters?
Sure.
Like, hey, I was thinking about you and I thought you might like this and blah,
but
blah.
that only happens after they're attracted to you. That's after the fact.
If a guy you didn't like did that to you, you wouldn't like him more.
You would talk about him on the podcast.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh man, there's this weirdo who like hit me up and he just started buying me things and I didn't like him. I was like, oh, what was the date like? Oh, I didn't go out on a date with him. The problem is, like, when you say that, and I understand what you're saying, you're talking about a man you're already attracted to. And the guys who are watching here that are white belts, you're not attracted to them. They're trying to learn what they can do to make more women be attracted to them.
Yeah.
Buying you stuff at for no reason is not a way to get a woman who doesn't find you attractive to be attracted to you. Mm-hmm. Spending money on her OnlyFans does not make her more attractive. Sorry, I'm snitching on you girls. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Paying for shit on OnlyFans does not make her more attracted to you. It doesn't. And so men are being taught incorrectly. They're being taught incorrectly nefariously by like porn and OnlyFans. And they're being taught incorrectly also nefariously by big tech, the media, and just the Hollywood industrial complex that tells you to be a bitch. Mm-hmm. Like that's basically what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
which is why they don't want you asking questions about evolutionary psychology.
Which is why they have to make videos about evolutionary psychology.
Well, let me see if I can bring this around and more to your point, and probably you can chime in on this as well. When Homath talks about like it's money, that's only one component. When we talk about money, muscles, and game, those are the three components that most guys in some way are deficient in. Okay, usually it's muscles, okay? 75% of the American population is overweight, and something like 35% of guys are obese. Yes, it is that fucking bad. So usually when I'm first talking to guys, that's the first place I say, go in the fucking gym, because you'll feel better about yourself, you'll look better, you'll have a different reaction, people will be more, you'll be more sexually arousing, you'll feel better about yourself on top of that too, and then those things end up becoming more synergistic. I'll just speak from my own experience right here. I'll be the first one to tell you that money is not as big a factor as a lot of people want to make it out to be, because my notch count is public knowledge, okay? And I would say probably more than half of it was when I had nothing. I was a starving fucking musician in the Hollywood metal scene of the late 80s and the early 90s. I had women buying me shit. Like, here, you want a drink? I had a girlfriend buy me a fucking car. Okay, because she wanted to facilitate me being able to, have a relationship with her, those kinds of things. I did not have money. So there was some other aspect about me that she still wanted to be a part of. She made way more money. I'm using one example out of my head, right? But so it wasn't just the money side of things. The fact that most of my notch count was when I was in no way had any kind of money for it, right? But again, I wasn't going to marry these women. I wasn't going to start some sort of lifelong relationship with these women either. So when guys come to me and say, well, I don't make enough money, I'm like, well, yeah, that's because you're seeing sex and you're seeing a relationship as a transaction, as opposed to there might be other things that are involved for attraction and arousal, like such as my physique, such as my personality, such as my social skills. Because back in the day, you actually had to. It was a trial by fire. You had to go out there as trial and error, and if you flamed out, you come back the next weekend and you try it over again. Most of the guys who think it's all about money are the same guys who don't want to go out there and do anything live in real time, so that they crash and burn and they learn those skills as well. So there has to be something other than just the financial aspects of it. And if all you're going to do is say, well, I'm trying to find a good wife or whatever, well, yeah, that's probably going to be a component to it. But I will tell you this right now, when I met my wife, when we first started dating, and we were dating non-exclusively, right? I mean, she was with guys who were like, ER docs and radiologists who made like way more money than I did, and I'm the one who got with her. I'm the one who married her. Okay, so it wasn't about the money at that time. She tells me later it's because I saw potential in you. That was really what she was saying. But at that time, it certainly wasn't a monetary issue. I wasn't going to Bed Bath and Beyond and trying to find nice sheets and fucking pillowcases and stuff like that. Things that I could afford, to make her want to be my wife, right?
Yeah.
It was my personality, was my interpersonal skills. She saw potential in me, and she probably really enjoyed fucking me. So
Yeah.
I mean, so there is something other than money that's involved in all that. It's humorous when you see hoe math, and by and large, from an economic perspective, when it's just down to dollars and cents, yes, this is 100% accurate, but there's more to intersexual dynamics than just money.
Got it.
Yep.
Let's get to the next one.
All right, what's the next one? Oh, Jesus.
Damn,
okay,
a lot of clips today.
This is good. I got some. I have a good one after this, too. So
New store in New York City.
Oh, jeez. It's not Beth
Anybody
Moore.
heard about the new store in New York City? It's called the Husband Store. And you can go there and shop for a husband. There's 6 floors in this store. You can only visit each floor one time, though.
Oh, jeez.
And each floor you go up, the value increases. You may choose any item from any particular floor, but you can go up a floor, but you cannot go back down. So there was a woman who went to the husband store to find herself a husband. On the first floor, the sign on the door read, "These men have jobs." That sounded good. These men have jobs. Floor 2 says, "These men have jobs and love kids." Floor number 3 said, "These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking." Wow, she thought, this is sounding pretty good, but I'm compelled to go on to the next floor. Well, she does go to the 4th floor, and the sign reads, "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead, good-looking, and they help with the housework." "Oh, mercy me," she said, "I can hardly stand it." Still, she said, "I've got to go on." She went to the 5th floor. "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead, gorgeous, help with the housework, and have a very strong romantic streak." But she couldn't stand it. She decided she had to just find out what was on floor number 6. Floor number 6 said, "You are visitor 31,456. To this floor, there are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please."
Where the fuck is this? At church or something?
Yeah, it looks like church.
It's not Beth Moore. I forget the lady's name. She's like she's an evangelical
hilarious.
pastor. Of course, she's not telling you the rest of that joke. Like then there's the guys that go up to the to the wife store and they say, "Here's a semi good looking woman who likes to fuck," and they never go past floor number 1.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I would have been happy at 5.
Yeah, but most women wouldn't be happy at 5 because they get right swiped so much that they actually think I'm going to go to the next. Like women have a proclivity to want better, which is fine. It's hypergamy. You want a better partner for your child. That makes sense. But that proclivity automatically aimed in a world where you have unlimited options on social media and dating apps, it doesn't fit. It's maladapted, and it causes you to not recognize that you pass by 27 really great guys to get to this one dude who treats you like shit.
Yeah.
There was a point in history where you said before it was 17 women for every man that made it, and then later on it averaged out to like
17 women reproduce for every one man.
For every one man, and then it was 7 women for every 1 man. And they're talking about patriarchy, and I'm like, you know, who patriarchy hurts those other 6 men. Those are the ones getting fucked by patriarchy. So anyway, that's the thing. It's like women's pickiness. Now, the difference between this show and other shows is I'm not going to tell you guys you're delusional. The pickiness just exists. What I'm going to do is I'm going to point to the guys out there that are watching this and say, you have to fucking do better. But it's never been easier to do better. Right now, you can do better and get into that top group easier than ever before.
Yeah.
Just stop listening to like mainstream shit. That's the
Wait,
the trick.
we got our first $21 super chat.
21.
There we go.
21. Can you do something for me?
Yeah, there you go. Juan Garcia says, shout out to Tristan. Boy is on the come up. Don't lock him down too soon, ladies.
Yeah, that's the thing. I know for sure. So Tristan's starting his own podcast. I know for sure Tristan's going to end up wifed up in like 2 seconds. It'll be just some girl is like the first one on his show who likes him, and then we're never going to see Tristan again. It's all,
Yeah.
it's all,
Have
it's all right. We all make this. We always make this
I'm
mistake.
doing
dude.
the right thing.
Everyone makes this mistake, dude.
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Out of these 2 pictures, who would you rather go on a date with?
Oh, I guess that guy.
Okay. What is it about that guy that you like?
I don't know. I don't really like
Can we
him,
stop the
but
video?
I guess he's the better of the 2.
Stop the video, ladies. Which one of the 2 would you like to go out with?
This guy or this guy?
Like to go out on the guy with the left. Raise your hand if you'd rather go out with the guy with the left. Okay.
Purple Hill Donut guy.
The guy on the right. Who, ladies, you'd rather go on a date with the guy on the right? Sam. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Beautiful.
But he is a Trump supporter.
Okay, keep going.
That was the whole.
Who cares?
Makes him the better.
What's
I'm just not really big into like buff dudes.
So now, what do you think the next person's gonna pick?
Maybe the second one.
Yeah.
Number 1?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you go with number 2?
because I'm left leaning more so.
This is a really tough one.
Is
'Cause
it?
I'm not into muscular men, but he's better looking than this guy. He looks cool.
He looks cool.
Yeah,
And who do you think the next person's gonna pick?
this guy.
Number 2.
Hilarious.
Okay. Why wouldn't you go with number 1?
Well, number 2, he's conservative. He works out. More attractive.
Okay. Do you like the fact that he's conservative?
Yes, I do.
This is really funny.
Brilliant design of an experiment.
It is.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is they did another one where they were like, hey, do you think Lizzo's attractive? They asked like 10 women, do you think Lizzo's attractive? And all the women were like, yeah, Lizzo's beautiful. Lizzo's beautiful. Then they go to the 11th woman, they say, hey, anyone ever tell you look like Lizzo? And she punches him. Okay? The level of dissonance that women have when it comes to Lizzo is outrageous. The incredible level of mental gymnastics and cope that they have to come up with to continue to try to act like her being that obese is not a problem. It is a problem. And by the way, I heard she stopped making music because of all the criticism she got, and I hate that for her. But the problem is she also could lose weight because it's not good for her heart, and if she has anyone who cares about her, she is shortening her life. That's why I have a problem with it. Not because she's unattractive, but because she's shortening her life.
She glorifies the obesity.
And she glorifies the obesity, which is terrible.
No, she's
That's
unattractive. I'll go there.
No, that's fine. No, I'm not saying she's not unattractive. That's not my problem, though. My problem is she's glorifying things that are causing other women who maybe have gone through a period of their life where they can't get to the gym as much, and they're like, it's okay that I'm this big. And I understand that you feel this way because that's what Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg are telling you. But the reality of the situation is it is putting a strain on your heart, and you're going to die sooner. That is a fact, okay? That's the first part. Now, in this case, we're dealing with a different kind of dissonance. Obviously, all these women, if a man is taking his clothes off and ready to fuck her, she's going to pick the guy on the right 100% of the time, and they can make up any kind of cope that they want. But the problem is the guy on the right also is the one who doesn't settle with her, and so her cope is to say she would rather pick the guy on the left. Mm-hmm. But when they asked who would other girls pick, they always knew it was going to be the guy on the right because secretly that's what they wanted too. It's this level of gymnastics that women have to play. Oh, I only dress sexy for me. I don't do it for men when I go to the club. It's this level of Oh, I think Lizzo's hot, but don't call me Lizzo. It's this level of fucking mental gymnastics that women have to do. I prefer a dad bod, but then you look at their dating history and it's like, you don't date guys that are dad bods. That's so weird. And so it's really crazy. This is why I've said this a million times before. If you ask a man, hey, do you like, what kind of girl you like? Oh, I like dark hair and green eyes. And you go through his search history, you know what you're going to find? Dark hair and green eyes. But you ask a woman, and it's just like they're so out of touch with the things that they're attracted to. They keep, I had Elizabeth Chevalier come on my show, and she goes, I just like nice guys. I like nice guys who stalk me. I just really like guys who are really just playmates. She's 5'11" with huge fake boobs. I just like you guys are really nice to me. It's like, well, tell me. And then 5 minutes later, we're talking about her ex-boyfriend. So tell me about your ex-boyfriend. He's a fucking narcissist who treated me like shit. Wait, what? You just said you like nice guys. Yeah, but I want him to be nice to me. I'm like, but you fucked the narcissist. How are you not grasping this dissonance? So I'm just saying.
I want the narcissist to be nice.
You know what I'm saying is, you know what we talked about before about being friends with girls that are hoes or being friends with a girl who's a slut? You know what a slut is? That dissonance is gone. She actually is right. She recognizes, I like bad boys because they fuck me better. Like, that's what they recognize. Nobody clip that. They recognize that.
Oh, we don't need to. I got a video for you. Hang on. Here we go. Just contrast.
It's the hottest thing a guy can do.
I'm not really into nice guys because I like boys, so I can't really think of anything nice that they can do.
My lucky day, hell yeah! I'm just joking. All right, and what's the worst thing a guy can do?
I guess be nice.
Be nice.
Because sometimes if you're too nice, it gives it's like the ick.
Really?
You know? Because it's like, why are you so nice?
Do you like when guys like degrade you type shit? Is that what you like?
Not degrade me, but you know. Because I feel like if a guy is nice, that means he gets no girls, and that's like a turn off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah. But then I'm on social media I want a guy that gets no bitches, but that's just not true, so.
Okay.
I want to hire her to work for us.
There are some realistic girls.
We find her.
No, what I'm saying is like women have different stages in their life where they go through this level of dissonance where like some of them, like I watch girls over and over and over, girls that have come on the show before, and I've seen their dating history for the last 10 years, and it's one VIP host after a male stripper, after a steroid dealer, after a bartender, and then they complain about no good and eligible men. And I'm just watching them like, if you were more in touch with your reality, like what you actually are open to, then maybe you understand. If all you did was date fuckboys and denied to your friends that you ever dated fuckboys, do you understand psychologically you can never move past it? Does everybody understand that? Mm-hmm. If you did not, it's like the lieutenant governor of Tennessee who was like a closet homosexual who was like passing legislation against gay people. Meanwhile, he's in a bathroom like trying to suck some dude off, like that kind of shit. Because you cannot deal with your own cognitive issues. Yeah. Women, you like men who make you chase. Admit that instead of saying you only like nice guys. Then you can move past it. But you'll never move past it if you don't admit it exists. And to her credit, she doesn't look very old. It looks like she figured that out at a young age.
Well, I was going to say that clearly. I know where that was shot. That was in Brickell. So
obviously.
So here's track with me here. This is a theoretical situation. In the very first video, when he was showing sort of the liberal donut guy and then the Trump guy was jacked, right? I'm presuming he was probably on a college campus. It seemed like it was. Yeah. It was because the quality of women that were coming through, they're like, I don't know, I kind of like this liberal guy with the purple hair, right? They're saying what they think they should say, whereas, we're saying, really they want to fuck this guy. That's why they kept saying, who do you think the next girl's going to say? Oh, it's going to be this guy because he's objectively or stereotypically, however they want to rationalize it, he's more physically attractive, right? So the women that were answering the first video questions, I would say were objectively not as attractive as the woman who was the one that was interviewed in Brickell, who was more honest about hey, I don't like nice guys. In fact, the worst thing a guy can do is actually be nice. I need a guy who's not going to degrade me, but somebody who's going to take charge and kick my ass and be more dominant, right? This is my theory. I think that the hotter that woman is, the more realistic she is about her chances or her what she's actually, she's more self-aware of her own what she's
I've seen
attracted
both.
to.
I've seen both.
She's more realistic about that.
I've seen both. What I've seen is she's probably dealt with more real shit sooner, which caused her to do that.
Because she's more attractive than the other
It
girls
could be,
who are
but I've just
still
seen
in, like, the state of denial.
some of the biggest states of denial from really attractive women, because what's happened is even in their state of dissonance and total disregard for objective reality, because they're so attractive, they can get away with it.
Yeah.
And so they've never had to deal with real shit. That's the only thing.
Well, okay, so we've done this experiment as well here, where we've gone around the table and we've said, okay, what would you rate yourself, ladies? And every, like, because we have some very attractive women that are on this show. And I think maybe one out of like the 25, 30, or 50, however many we've done it, maybe one or two have said, I'm a 10, right? Everyone is like very realistic and say, I'm a 7, I'm an 8 if I'm made up. They're very much more like, I think, self-aware of their own physical attractiveness. Because if you go and you compare our results to somebody like, say, on Brian's on whatever podcast, he asks that same question. Every single girl at the table always says, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Because it's this narrative, or there's this, this pervasive kind of like, I don't know, propaganda or whatever, that women can only ever say, never degrade themselves, never self-deprecate. So they're always a 10, even if she's Gorlock the Destroyer. I mean, if she looks like she's this gigantic, fat
Mike,
chick.
I don't know if you have the experience, but I noticed that the really attractive women don't say they're a 10 more often than not.
Yeah, well, the reason also is because you guys live in Vegas, and Vegas changes. Because in Vegas, you're constantly being like bombarded with other, instead of images on social media, you just go to Fit Club or go to the Dragon's Lair, and you're just going to see like women in better shape than you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the women here, because they've tried
Powerhouse
to
gym.
get, because they've tried to get the night shift over at the Rhino, or because they tried to get a job working at White Republic and they didn't get the job, they're way more realistic about how physically attractive they are. They couldn't get hired as a cocktail server, or they couldn't get hired as an atmosphere model. And I think because of that, that's why you rarely have women here saying that they're a 10.
Well, like when they have, was it pool week in January, where all the girls have to come out and like try out for that. Like we've had girls on the show saying, "Oh, is it this week? We could do it," and we're just like, just don't even go. Not because you're not attractive, but like the women, the caliber of women that are going to be getting those jobs.
No, like there are girls there who are super attractive,
Yeah.
but you have to be perfect to get those jobs, and that's the issue. Like to the point where it's unrealistic. Like you're just like unrealistically skinny. Like
if we're saying, no, don't do that, don't bother kind of thing, it always comes off as awkward. What's the next one?
You just pick one. The gratitude one.
Oh, that one? Okay, got it. Here we go.
If you look outside, it's kind of a gloomy day.
Holy
but
shit,
don't
is that
ever
Michael?
let that take away the fact that you get to wake up every day privileged enough to drink Casamigos and take steroids. I know this. You guys are still gonna make excuses. Oh, but I have to work a job. No, you don't. What's to stop you from committing credit fraud, getting approved for an Amex, maxing it out, putting it all on black, quadrupling your money? But I know you guys still won't do it. You'd rather, invest in the S&P 500, make 0.5% return a year. We choose to fuck ourselves over. It's all in the mind. You could choose. Take steroids, become an alcoholic, get rich, or stay average just like everybody else.
That's fucking incredible.
I don't think we did any commentary. I think
That's
perfect.
fucking incredible.
That's like, it's so true.
gosh.
It's so funny that's talking about being self-aware. There's so many guys who would say, I would never do that, who have done that. If you guys want to know, go on stage at any nightclub in Las Vegas, and you'll see rich dudes, and they're surrounded by guys like that. They usually have a couple of tattoos. They're like fucking overly yoked, and they have no job. There's a bunch of guys exactly like that.
He's on it with the steroids thing. I didn't realize how many people were on steroids.
Yes, it is crazy.
Especially here.
It's never been easier. I will tell you that too. Like especially like hanging out with the guys at Powerhouse Gym now, that like seeing where they get stuff and where it comes from. I remember my brother was an amateur circuit bodybuilder back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And you had to like go across the border to go into like Tijuana, and you have to know where you're going. You had to know somebody to do it. Now it's like it's just crypto.
Yeah, everyone's juicing. If you want to work at a fit club, you can't be natural.
Never been easier.
They don't allow you to work out there.
Yeah.
Can't you take
Stop saying that. Hey, shout out to Fit Club. You guys are awesome.
No, you can't go to Planet Hollywood or Planet Fitness. Planet Fatness. What's that?
Can't you take like pill steroids now too?
You
Like
can.
you don't
Yeah,
always
Anavar.
have to-
Yeah.
It's take anything here.
Yeah, like powder, pre-workout, a juice.
Sure.
No, steroids is a little.
No.
Steroids is
That's
very
different.
Yeah.
game.
Oh, okay.
Peptides.
Yeah.
Peptides. It's all peptides.
Just imagine I eat food and I get calories. These calories can turn into fat or they can turn into muscle. In order to turn to muscle, I have to break down muscle. And then I conduct this thing called protein synthesis, which builds the muscle. When I'm younger, I have more ability to do that because I have more HGH in my body and more growth hormone, and I have more testosterone. if you get older, what anabolics do is it like literally I can starve myself and like go into a calorie deficit, which would cause me to burn muscle more than fat. But because I'm taking anabolic steroids, it doesn't. It only burns fat and it builds muscle. And then next thing you know, I'm performing for Thunder from Down Under.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Lean muscle.
Yes, but it's but it's like because your body like I've seen guys who don't even work out and just load up on fucking Trend and Winnie, and they look incredible and they hardly work out. Because their body is doing nothing but taking every calorie and turning it into muscle, and those muscles are burning all the fat. It's crazy. It's such
and
a fucking.
They lose all their hair and their pecker won't.
Yeah, for sure. Their dick doesn't work anymore, and their haircut falls out. They get really greasy and they beat up their girlfriend. But other than that, like it's totally normal.
Yep. I got another super chat. Stinky to Magic Pook. Jeez, man, you're on fire.
Guys, change your usernames.
Yes, right.
Jesus
the problem is, even if you do everything right, you're the best version of yourself. You still have to contend with modern women and them being paid to leave you because they feel like it. I think that's a divorce thing.
Yep.
I don't know if we should talk about it, but that's where Bolzerian talks about why you need to make them chase because of those things, you know?
Yeah, so
talk about that.
Again, there's science and then there's my opinion. This is my opinion. In a relationship, because women have more options when you break up. It doesn't matter. If you were dating a wide receiver for the Raiders and you guys broke up, you would still have more options to get sex than him, even though he's famous because you're a woman.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I believe, this is my opinion, that it's more important for a woman to be slightly more into her man than the other way around because she has the leverage point of all this attention that he doesn't have. And so if it was the other way around, so for instance, you get all these attention from men and I'm more into you than you're into me, you're incentivized to leave.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. So when I said this before, women will be the gatekeeper. I'm not the one who said that. Obviously, someone said this before me. But women are the gatekeeper to sex and men are the gatekeeper to a relationship. So here's the prescription for you guys out there. Whenever you're dating a woman and things get sexual, she must bring up, what are we? You never bring up, what are we?
She has to say, I love you first.
She has to say, I love you first. She has to bring up, what are we first. If you're the one bringing up, what are we? She gets more attention than you on social media and she has more leverage in the relationship. It's just my opinion, but those are the relationships that I see work.
Or they could worship you.
Sounds like my good idea of a good time.
All right, which one do you want to do? Oh, we already did. Did we not do this?
I don't think so.
Is it Guy Friends or is it?
No, it's different.
Interesting which one it was.
Just pick one that we haven't done yet.
All right, let's do Sadia. Hang on. This
Men who are very lonely. And I do ask them, do you have any female friends? And the answer is invariably no. And I always say that you need them. And they're like, no, we shouldn't be friends. Men and women can't be friends. And I said, but they're training ground for women in the real world. Because when you have female friends, they teach you what things upset women, what things make them happy, what they mean by when they text slowly, when they text fast, when they don't text at all. They teach you so much that you can't learn from women directly. Because when a woman is in love with a man, she can't help but play stupid games because it's part of a protection strategy. So what she'll do is say she's done when she's not done, or say she doesn't want to sleep with you when she does want to sleep with you. She'll say the opposite of what she truly means. But having female friends helps you understand this human psychology behind a woman in a way that direct experience with them won't.
Okay, so I'm not going to accuse Sadia Khan of literally ripping me off. I'm not going to do that. But she ripped off someone who ripped me off because I've been saying this since 2008 and been getting nothing but fucking lambasted for it. I said exactly the same thing. But here's the difference where she's the part she's kind of missing because she's just talking about female friends. I put women in the friend zone, meaning on the gate. It's not like it's like, hey Bailey, you're kind of hot. Let me. Oh, you don't like me? Okay, friends. I shot my shot. I got shot down. Friends. Now you put me in the friend. No, from the jump. I put girls in the friend zone. Everybody put your hands in the middle. 1, 2, 3, break. Let's go make some fucking money at the bikini competition. Yeah, let's go. That's always been what I've done. And shout out to all these people who are just now catching up. But I got videos. I got the receipts. In 2008, I was saying this exact same shit. And nobody was echoing what I was saying. Now everybody's saying this shit and acting like it's brain surgery. When you walk up to a beautiful woman and you got a beautiful woman with you because she's your friend, the beautiful woman you're walking up to, she does not cognitively go, yeah, but he's probably not fucking her. She doesn't do that. She just sees another beautiful woman, and this amygdala fires, and like, this is a higher status man, and that's all you need to get you over the hump so that you can get past whatever shield she's got up on the approach.
Shout out to Kindly Myers.
Shout out to Kindly Myers, yes. Cool, beautiful.
And speaking of people lifting material,
y'all think you can get a woman to do anything you want her to do by validating her feelings. Let me tell you something, bro. You do not have to lie to women. If she like you enough, she'll lie to herself.
Facts.
Now you're great. You gotta manipulate. You don't gotta gaslight. If she like you enough, she'll gaslight herself. She will manipulate herself. Nah, but he really do like me though. Yeah, but he did this. But he did this. But he really do. He a good guy. She'll lie to herself. So you don't have to validate their feelings to get whatever. Yeah, if you that nigga, nah. You don't have to. Girls break rules for the nigga that they want. Ooh. And they make rules for the nigga that they don't want.
Say my name.
Wow. So if she... that boundary talk is great. It sounds great on social media, but any girl that has really liked the dude... She gonna bend some of them, yeah. Some of them, for certain boundaries, she will bend on. Nah, y'all do... Girl to make it rule quick now. Yeah, so make it rule. For nigga, 6'6", tattoo, and a beard, 6'6" tattoo, and a beard. Yeah, boy, and get back. Boy, your man. Nigga, that nigga got a whole new set of rules. What? He got his own rule book. He said, that rule book full of one page. 1 page, 6'6". Ain't even half the chapter.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, this whole thing's happened. Make rules for out. Now here's the problem. Can anybody see the dangers of what he's saying right there? She's willing to manipulate herself, and he doesn't have to manipulate her. So let's just say at the end of the relationship, she comes to the realization after therapy or whatever, oh, he didn't really like me that whole time, but he literally was telling you he didn't like you, but you were lying to yourself. What do women call that guy afterwards?
A narcissist.
Thank you. Yeah. It's all over TikTok. Yeah. I have seen, and I'm not saying there aren't men out there that are narcissists, there are, but what I've seen often is women lying to themselves about a guy who was straight up telling you. I know a girl right now who is crying over a dude she was dating who is a male porn star. And it's just like, when I talk to her, I'm like, the dissonance is just so maddening. Yeah, but no, he really does like me. I'm like, what the fuck does it matter? Like, it's so crazy. She's willing to lie to herself, and then in the end, she calls him a narcissist. But what did he do wrong? He told you he didn't want to be in a relationship. A man expressing his desires and preferences to you is not narcissism, because your preference for height is not narcissism, or maybe it is. Maybe we're both narcissists. But it's just crazy to me whenever I see this. He can express a preference. The preference is, and I did this once. I was seeing a girl, fantastically beautiful, and told her, I'm not interested in being in a relationship right now. We can hang out every night if you want, but I'm going to see other people when I'm not with you. And she said, no, that's terrible. And then she said yes. And then we were together for over 2 years after that happened. And she afterwards may go tell herself, oh my God, Michael was a narcissist. No, I told you the whole time what was going on. I didn't acquiesce to what you wanted. That does not make me a narcissist, because at no point did I ever lie to you. But in your mind, you go back, and because lies were being told to you, but they weren't being told to you by me, they were being told to you by yourself. And now I'm the one who gets the blame for it. Does everybody see how that can be dangerous, what he was just saying right there?
Yeah, I think women do that as like a protection thing. I mean, I feel like all people do that because it's easier to blame another person than blame yourself. So you might as well just blame them when it's like all over, you know, so you don't have to.
Have you ever
and
been
it absolves you of responsibility for it.
Exactly.
We should ask the girls, have you ever been in a situation like that where you like had to like sort of like, you know, make it up on the fly? Like this is why he's the way he is. This is, have you ever lied to yourself for a guy?
Yep. A lot. For sure.
Yeah.
Because I like psychology. I just graduated with my psychology degree.
Yay.
A couple months ago. But I would just like read so deeply into psychology that like if a man did anything, I'm like, oh, it's because of his past.
Right.
It's because of his like relationship schema with his mom. It's because of this. But no.
The trauma.
Trauma. Like,
I think a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
A lot of women do that.
But you did it on your own. It wasn't like prompted by him. You were the one who was just trying, because to facilitate the relationship, maybe the dick's good, I don't know. But to facilitate the relationship, it's like you'll lie to yourself to keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's easier to lie to yourself when you're in love. Right? because you're in love and it's just easier to live in that than in reality.
And you like want to hope for potential change.
Yeah. And I also noticed it within at least the women that I talk to a lot of times we date and have like a savior complex when you know something's wrong with the guy already, and you see the signs of it pretty early in dating too, but you pursue a relationship or you're dating him long term, and then what happens? Those things come right in your face, and you can't change him because you should never want to, and everyone tells you that from the beginning, but they still try to be the savior, try to change him, try to help him heal, and it's just trauma and like, you know, stuff like that.
Or just
really
like
work.
hope that he'll come to his own realizations of like what he needs
through your
to
love.
do. Yeah,
through your
yeah,
love,
exactly.
through being there to support him.
Yeah, exactly.
Be there for him, show him that there's real love out here no matter what he's been through, and hope that changes him for the better.
Yeah. I read a quote the other day. I have to bring it up.
Is it a psychology quote?
I don't know, but it's sad. It's true too for a lot of people. It says it's hard to wait around for something you know might never happen, but it's harder to give up when you know it's everything you want. That's a thing. That's like why I would make excuses for a guy, you know? That's the biggest reason.
That's how I feel about GTA 6.
That is a true statement. I cannot wait.
I got one more. I got one more here. Hang on a second. Before I do though, Hugh guys, I'm just going to answer this real quick. He says, main chair syndrome. Everyone's ripping me off. Well, the thing is this. I don't care if they're ripping me off. In fact, I don't even think. I just think it's interesting to see, like, almost verbatim some of the stuff that.
Yeah, just don't talk shit about us afterwards. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to rip us off, but like I've been doing this since 08, and he's been doing this since 03, and it's like. It's cool. I know you guys just came up with this shit on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, but you were the first one to come up with. No one came up with pre-selection before you. We get it, bro. Yeah. The photos on Instagram. You were the one who figured that out. Sure, dating coach. Whatever the comp tables. You were the first guy to show the comp. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Whatever you believe. That's fine. If you just don't talk shit about us behind our back.
And yes,
you clearly got it from us.
Don't claim credit.
Don't claim credit for shit that I was doing 15 years ago.
I'm well aware of this guy.
Dump that bitch.
Tom Likas. Yes, I understand. I know who that guy is, and yes, I'm well aware of who Patrice O'Neill is. Can we get over that part right there? No, I don't care, because I've said in the past, it's even been written in a few of my books where I say that the red pill is open source. I hope I'm glad to see that, because it means it's it's in another culture, it's in another ethnicity, right? Great, awesome, mission accomplished. Thanks a lot. Am I trying to get my props or my flowers? I don't care either way. I would much rather see like how the effect on other people's lives when I got guys out here saying, "Hey man, let me shake your hand. You really saved my life. You really pointed me in the right direction. You really helped me out of a dark place." That to me is way better than any flowers I could get from some random dude online.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I don't mind if you guys teach social circle. Just don't go around saying you were the first social circle coach on the internet and then talk shit about me behind my back. And I know you are because you block me. Like, I know you fucking are. Like, it's crazy. There's no way. Now, I don't mind. I'm like, listen, do you. But I just see these guys now, and all of a sudden now it's cool to teach social circle, to have a bunch of female friends, and then to change your Instagram to look high status. Yeah, because you guys started that, right? That's exactly what happened. No, that's not what happened at all. Anyway, let's go to the next one.
Which you want to do? Which one?
This one's so great. This one's so fucking controversial right here.
Let's see.
Guys,
lost weight.
Get ready to laugh. Get ready to laugh.
Okay, this is humor.
My 5-year husband and I divorced because I was fat. He regrets it now, and I live a healthier life. She looks amazing. No surgery, no diet. 12 months, I did it.
I put the coffee name on my home page. If you need to lose weight, you can try it.
So then when you go to the comments, the things people won't do for love, but will do out of spite. You should refund him for wasting his time.
Married.
That's the thing. He didn't deserve you at your best because you never gave it to him.
That's a weird way to say I didn't care about myself while I was married. Comment section backfired.
Too fat to keep my husband, but look at me now. Gets remarried and gains it all back.
They won't change for the man they're with, but they'll change to replace him.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. That totally backfired on him. He's like, oh, he left me because I was overweight, so I lost the weight. And the obvious thing is, why didn't you do that while you're with him? And by the way, ladies, if you're like, I left my man because he lost his job and now he's rich again, it's like, he could have done that maybe while you guys were together, but why are you with him? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It was really interesting. Like, that's totally backfired on her. I want to find that clip and go to that comment section because that was pretty bad.
I forget the poll. They were asking like lottery winners, that men who won the lottery and women who won the lottery, and guys, if they come into a windfall of money, they will use it to better their house, better their wives, better their living situations, and women just basically take the money and go.
Yeah, women take the money and then divorce their husbands. That's what happened. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Anyone
else that I haven't got to?
Okay. This was so good. I can't believe we didn't do this sooner.
A lot of people think it's weird that you do, and we've been dating for almost a year now, and I still haven't hit.
Okay, why do we care about other people's opinions?
Need to save this man.
I mean, I was just presenting the question. Maybe.
You know how I feel about it. I am a high value woman, and I can't just be giving my body I don't know purity. I told you purity is a big deal for me.
What the heck? That's fucking insane.
I am not forcing you to stay. You can leave whenever you want if you can't respect those boundaries.
Okay, so just so we're clear, she had a video that went viral. Do you remember? This is the same girl where the young brother was like, "Hey, I don't think you understand you being on OnlyFans, what it does to me, because I go to school and I get made fun of by people." Do you remember that video? It's the same girl. You could she looks a little different, but she has the same eyes. I could tell it was her. Clearly, that went viral. She's doing this again, but this one is staged. Yeah, obviously,
this is for attention.
This is just this is generally for attention, and I don't mind, dude. If that's your grift, you do you, girl. That's fine. The point is, what she's doing is she knows what she's saying is so bombastic and outrageous. Could you imagine? And there's guys out here doing this. You're dating a girl who's a porn star who's filmed with 4 guys in a week, and he makes you wait months to have sex. And she makes you wait months to have sex with her. And the thing is, it wouldn't be funny, except it's fucking true. And I've actually seen it happen. It's happened. And so that's the part that's crazy.
It's not happening to guys who are losers. It's happening to relatively successful guys. That's what's fucking crazy.
One of the crazy things, guys will join our program and they're wealthy. They've done well with women before, and you'll hear their story with one particular woman, and you're like, how the fuck did this succubus get into your life like this? And it's so incredibly crazy because men, when they have sex with a woman they act crazy. I mean, obviously women do too. Women now act even crazier. But men, when they have sex with a woman they like, they get whipped. And you're just having to tell them these things. And they're like, yeah, I understand. And then they just go right back to doing the same stupid shit. And it's unbelievable. I just can't imagine spending money on a woman knowing that she's using me for my money. She's withholding sex and I keep giving her money. I cannot fathom. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I cannot fathom how you do that. That is just so beyond real to me.
In your mind, you don't have any other option. I could see how someone could fall into that.
It's just, oh man, it's crazy. Go ahead.
No, that's real. That really does happen, especially with the rise in OnlyFans right now. And then I some girls that I know, right, they'll have boyfriends that don't nearly make as much money. So they're the breadwinners too. So it kind of gives this alpha edge to women. So she's not completely off. Obviously, she's saying a lot of stuff for the internet, but she's not completely off.
She is never going to fuck that dude, and she's not dating him.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. Why is she with him then?
No, it's a clip. It's a joke.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But see, the fact that you're saying
people do that. Why?
Well, the fact that you're saying that is because it's confusing, right?
I thought it was real. I didn't think it was a joke.
Yeah,
I thought it was real.
And the one that was prior to this, everybody thought was real too, right? And so, but the thing is this is actually brilliant, especially from a psychological perspective, because they're hitting on pain points that they know are going to trigger. Certainly got those incel guys or the red pill. That's what it's going to end up.
It's going to generate comments, likes, and then the algorithm.
And the women are going to sympathize with her because I don't want to put out for a guy that looks like. Basically, in the hind brain, it's saying that guy's not attractive enough for me to want to fuck this guy. To break my rules to have sex with this guy. But it's a pain point, and that's why these guys are really good at what they do. Is they're really good at pulling out those pain. What do men hate about women so much? Well, here's a good example right here. What do women hate about men when they think one way or they have they make presumptions, And if they hit on those pain, this whole video is just one pain point that has been around, by the way, forever. Ever since, certainly since the sexual revolution, let's say, when we started having casual sex, right?
It's because of the patriarchy. It never existed before.
Here's another really good pain point, because you see this all the time on whatever podcast, because Brian has a very nice little allegory for this, which is the McDonald's allegory. Like, people come in and they get a hamburger at a certain price, and then you get a burger, and it's a half-eaten burger, and you paid extra for that burger. It's basically meant to say that you've got a used bitch instead of a fresh burger bitch, whatever it is.
Oh, interesting.
And so it's this idea that you don't want to pay for used goods or like a half-eaten sandwich or something like that. that's a pain point. So it's like, I don't want to get what I want you at your best. I want you, like, if I'm going to be the guy that you want me to be, if I'm going to be the complete package, the guy that you're going to marry, and I get this from guys who are like very marriage minded or very long-term relationship minded. They maybe they're not into marriage, but they want to have like a long-term girlfriend. That's why they fixate on, oh, she's not wifey material, right? We hear that all the time. She's not marriageable material. And I'm like, well, if you're against marriage in the first place, why would that be important? Well, it's important because it's a pain point. They think that at somewhere along the lines they're going to have a long-term relationship with somebody, and it ain't going to be somebody that has that particular attitude, who is a half-eaten sandwich, right? So when you're seeing these scenarios play out, or you hear these hypothetical scenarios that you'll hear on like whatever, or on Fresh and Fit, or even here for that matter, those are pain point scenarios because there's something that keeps repeating over and over and over again. So a guy's not going to want to get with the half-eaten sandwich. They know that. Everybody knows that. Right? It's not like, oh, I got to have a virgin bride or something like that, but it also has to be like, you have to make this choice in your head, where what is my threshold for that? And for most guys, it's actually pretty low to begin with.
I want to find out all these pain points.
Yeah.
Like, make a list of them. It'd be so fun.
And then if
Try
you
to capitalize
can, and
off
if
of
you
it.
can make those pain points believable, if you can make the scenario believable, look like it's actually organically happening, that's what's going to give you. You want a viral video? Find pain points and sell it like it's happening live in real time.
Ooh.
Yep.
I want to do that.
Anyone left?
I got a few. Let's see. We got to that one. Here I got.
How many did we do?
I have to. I think we went through all of Mike's. I have a really good one here that I want Mike to sort of opine on. We're almost out of time, but let me get to here. Here's Mac and Murphy. I did a full video on this just to let you know. So full disclosure here.
I've heard manosphere pundits from multiple subgroups claim publicly that human extra-pair paternity in the West is around 30%.
What?
Right? They believe that 30% of babies come from covert affairs by women who have tricked their husband or boyfriend. And
okay, I'm going to pause it here for a second.
I don't know anyone who said that.
I don't know anybody who said that.
No, listen, Mackin, I understand that you heard someone say that somewhere, but like this is one of the low-hanging fruit kind of situations. I can cherry pick psychological papers that are obviously not nonsense. No one on this side of the aisle has ever said that 30%. 11% would be shockingly high. I think it's probably closer to 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing the equivalent of a psychological bias, which he knows is real, where it's like if one person of a certain group says something, you generalize it to the entire fucking group.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
he's clearly doing committing a psychological bias.
That's how he started making a name for himself. He started talking. He started talking about stuff like this, criticizing the red pill, never saying who it was. I mean, now he is at least, but like back in the day, it was just say he'd flash my face on there.
It's probably some that none of us know.
Yeah, to be fair, like if he heard it, that's so outlandish and bombastic. I understand why he's saying it. And that is a problem. If someone's saying that, that's fucking crazy. How could you ever trust women if 30% of babies were, guys were getting cucked? Right. I totally understand that, but I just don't. I got to be honest with you, Mackin, and I'm going to send him this clip. I've never heard a single person say 30. The highest number I've ever heard was 11. Go ahead.
And I heard that from Sterling.
Yes. Yeah. That was the highest number I've ever heard, and I think that's too high.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Is he? Wait. Sorry. Is he referencing a study?
He said no. He's just referencing
some random red pill podcasts that he's some of these guys,
for
these
sure,
pundits in the red pill, right?
Go ahead. Higher, but I'll be fair here and choose the least unhinged number, 30%.
He thinks it's higher than that.
1 in 3. Look to your left. Look to your right. One of you has a dad that's not your dad. Are you kidding me? The guys who believe this cite the revealed rates of paternity fraud in cases where paternity has been disputed and a test has been requested. Which is like trying to estimate.
Because I know where he's going with this. If you just looked at men who went to paternity clinics or tried, what is it called? Men who get paternity tests done. If you just look at that subset of men who already think they're being cheated on, if all you did was choose from men who thought they were being cheated on, the number of them are being cheated on is outrageously high because they think they're being cheated on. There's just keep
not a representative sample.
That's not a representative sample. Go ahead.
Estimate the incidence of car crashes by surveying cars at an auto shop. The men are already suspicious enough to pay for the test. Of course, the rates are high in these samples. In large Western samples, without this selection bias, paternity fraud is consistently less than 3%. And to be clear, 3% would be a high estimate. I'm being very generous here. Even at conferences and in classrooms among people like myself who think extra pair paternity is a significant factor in human evolution, you'd almost never hear someone put the estimate that high. And that's still a tenth of what these guys say. They're off by an order of magnitude.
These guys.
Okay, so just to be fair, he did not say Rolo said that.
Yeah.
So
to be fair, as much as I love them, like when you do watch Fresh and Fit, they do what do they advocate for? Like everybody should have a mandatory paternity test. Like it happens more than you think. I can see where he's getting that, although I don't know where he got the 30%.
Yeah, I don't know anyone. He said that's the lowest of the unhinged numbers. I think 15 would be an unhinged number. To be
I think
15%.
5 would be an unhinged number.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that being unhinged. But he's right. Anyway, I'm going to send this to Mackin. No one I know who said 30. That is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I totally. I mean, dude, if 30% of these children, like what he's saying before, if 1 in 3 you were being fathered by someone who, do you understand? Society would break down. We would have an outrageously high murder rate. That is
murder, suicide, robbery,
indisputable.
Yeah,
the murder rate would fucking quadruple if all of a sudden 30% of babies, dudes are getting cucked. It would be crazy.
I'm glad you said cucked because that's exactly what I was talking about last Sunday. Because I was responding actually to a video of Andrew Wilson, our friend Andrew Wilson, and who was he talking? Some guy they call him Bevo. I can't remember what he was. The guy basically is an OnlyFans creator with his wife and lets his wife get fucked on film and sometimes whatever.
This, yeah.
So he's basically calling him a cuck, and I'm like, well, here's the thing: what is cuckoldry? And so I brought out Dr. Tim Burkhead's book, Promiscuity, which is a fantastic Evo bio, not Evo Psych, talking about the instances and the functions and the mechanics of cuckoldry, not just in human beings, but in the animal kingdom as well, right? And
sure.
And pair bonding is very, very rare in any animal per se. So like when I talk about is monogamy natural or is promiscuity natural, whatever, all that stuff. The answer is both for men.
Sure.
That's where I'm deriving that. So I was talking about cuckoldry. He's saying, "Oh, you're a cuck," right? And that's an insult right now that everybody likes to use, especially in the right wing side of things. Everybody wants to call everybody a cuck. So I went down I broke down the nuts and bolts of cuckoldry. Well, what's the end? What is the function of cuckoldry? Well, it's to get one man to adopt or to in some way assume the parental investment responsibilities of another man's children. Essentially, that's what it is. That's what that's where the word cuckold comes from the cuckoo. What the cuckoo does is it plants its eggs, or it takes its eggs and puts them in another bird's basket, that the resources and everything will go to that because the cuckoo moves on, and then whatever bird they put it in the nest, that's the one that has to take over. Don't know that it's actually not a cuckoo; it's something else, right? But that's where the word cuckold comes from, and essentially, the function of a cuckold is assuming the parental investment responsibilities of another male's children. And that's, of course, why guys are, our existential fear is cuckoldry, because we don't want to put our resources and our time and our effort and stuff to promote the DNA of somebody who's not our own fucking DNA, because otherwise you're extinct. That's where it comes down to. So it doesn't even matter that it's 30% or it's 20% or it's 2%, because I said the same thing. I've seen it as high as 10, and I've seen it as low as 2. Those are the stats.
I thought the 10 was outrageous.
And I have tried to correct people when they try to make it something that's greater than that. But if you can convince a society that it is okay and normalized to have children out of wedlock, and you have the stepdad who comes in and assumes the responsibilities, the parental investment responsibilities of that child, you are essentially signing up for your own cuckoldry. So whether it's extra pair paternity or it's retroactive cuckoldry or proactive cuckoldry, the effect is still the same. So if you're going to say, well, that's not my kid, I'm the stepdad of this kid, that sounds more noble and that's socially acceptable, but you're still, from a functional perspective, you're still a cuck.
Well, from a Darwinian perspective.
From a Darwinian perspective. Now, am I saying, oh, but the kids don't need fathers and everything? Like, I know Wes Watson was all up about this too. I'm like, no, I'm not saying you're a bad person for being a stepdad. I'm just saying you're from a definition, a Darwinian definition, you are a cuckold because you are assuming the parental investment responsibilities. So when we're talking about extra pair paternity or tricking, he's only talking about the proactive cuckoldry where a woman will go and fuck another guy and tell the other guy it's your baby, right? Trying to through deception, as opposed to retroactively doing it and having kids with another man and then say, I need a man with benefits. I need him to marry me and wife me up so that so he can be not the stepdad but the dad who stepped up, right? It's more socially acceptable.
And birth control, too, can also contribute to
everything
up.
that goes into it. So it's almost like, I don't know why we keep like obsessing over percentages of like extra pair paternity, all this, what he was talking about in the video, because if you go and you count the 42% of babies that are born out of wedlock in the United States right now, that number jumps astronomically if the effect is one guy taking the responsibility of another man's children. So it doesn't matter what you think a cuck is. The latent purpose of it, the latent function of it is you're still a cuck, but just
so
because
the result is still being achieved.
Because you elected to do it is immaterial to the fact that it's still happening.
Right.
So
interesting. Okay. Any other ones that we get to?
I think that's about it. Where are we at? We're at 11.
We're at 11 o'clock. Okay, awesome. We good?
Yeah, I think we're good, man.
All right, couple things real quick. On Sunday, if you ladies happen to be in town, I'm going to be hosting a $30,000 bikini competition at the Pendry Hotel. It's going to be at the pool house. If you guys are welcome to come to that. On the 13th, we're going to be raising money for troops overseas. Babes in Toyland support our troops. That's going to be at Academy LA in Los Angeles on Hollywood Boulevard, right there near Hollywood and Vine. And then that's what we got coming up. And then I'm going to be going to Nashville for a few days on the 20th. On the 14th, I'm going to be at Game 4 of the NBA Finals. If any of you guys are in Dallas and want to hang out, I'm going to be probably staying the 14th and the 15th in Dallas and then come back here to Las Vegas. That's what we have coming up in the future. We don't have another Access Vegas coming until the 27th. That'll be the next one we'll do. And then I don't have another bikini competition until the 21st of July. If you guys are interested in that.
Where's that?
That's going to be it's again the Pendry Hotel in San Diego.
Sounds good.
So we're going to do that. So any ladies who are interested in that, please hit me up and you guys can come and do that. I do believe, don't tell anybody, but I believe they're giving out hotel rooms if you guys want to travel out to San Diego and do that. So that's what we got coming up in the future. You guys notice with the podcast, it's doing really well, but I'm not doing it weekly anymore because I just don't have time to do it weekly. So I'm going to.
We're on summer schedule.
Yes,
now.
I'm going to try to get you the best guests I can, and then you guys have seen the last two ones have been pretty amazing. With Greg Duchette, we had him on there, and that was like really, really awesome to have Greg on the show. So that was really cool. I have a lot of really like Casey Zander might be one or two that I do next month. So we're going to have him come on the show. Anyway, Bailey, what do you think about the show so far?
I thought it was great. It was really fun. I got to talk a lot more than I did the first time, just because, I don't know, I did my research. And it was fun. I liked how we did more videos this time. It was cool to react, and I liked that it was a small crowd, so we could all talk. It was great. I loved it. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
It's always a good time here with you guys. And honestly, I always see videos that I actually don't ever get to see. So it's always nice to see something new and fresh. So thanks for having me as well.
Milana.
Oh, it was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. The videos was like really fun.
Okay.
This time.
Do you like doing that? You like responding to that?
Thank you so much. That was cool.
Tristan, you're
awesome as always.
You turn into a lesbian like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to lesbians.
Yeah. I would like to say, Milana.
I'm going to insult my male friends now, so fuck you, Mike.
Milana's body count is 0.
No, her body count's negative. For those of you who don't know, this is how it works on Access Vegas. If you have slept with a woman, your body count goes down by 1.
That's how generous we are.
Yes. Go ahead, Tristan.
Yeah, show was great. Can't wait for the next one.
Samarina?
I had a great time. This is my second time on here, and I like that it was small as well. I do want to make a little announcement, though. On Monday, June 10th, I'm doing a financial education workshop. It's free. The link is in my bio on my Instagram, but if any of you guys want to come.
What kind of financial education?
Teaching people how to secure their financial future, index fund strategies.
Who is it? Is it Virtuity? Who is it with?
Arkshire Financial.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's like annuities and stuff like that?
Not specifically. It's more so like tax strategies. We have a CPA that's speaking, and then an executive from the company that's going to be speaking as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but one of the things I will tell you guys is dealing with the finances of the company, specifically Men of Action, is that you got to figure out ways to not tax shelters, but you got to be smart about where you spend your money, and it's just so crazy. Like if you buy the best way to hedge against inflation, honestly, is real estate. Because real estate, it's not just that the real estate goes up or down, is you get this 1031 write-off that you get for depreciation, and you can you'll have guys who are making $7 million a year and have $7 million worth of depreciation and write-downs and pay nothing in taxes. And this is, guys, I'm trying to tell you right now. Read The Millionaire Next Door. This is how the wealthy stay wealthy. Is because they understand some of these simple concepts. They understand offense and defense. How much am I spending? How much am I taking in? And they understand scalability with their business. So yeah, I'm always in favor of anybody.
What's the name of that book?
Huh?
What's the name of the book?
The Millionaire Next Door.
Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah, you guys should read that. The number one car that millionaires drive, Ford F-150.
Nice.
Most millionaires do not have a single fucking suit worth $1,000.
Yep, and they know that if you drive a truck, you're going to get more pussy than if you're driving a Lamborghini. Yes, that's what I learned from this.
One time I was joking with Blazarian, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm going out to buy a 1989 Pontiac Trans Am," and he goes, "You could not handle all the vagina that you would get with that car, with that vehicle." That's so funny.
I'm going to start driving the Tacoma. My wife's like, "Why are you driving the Tacoma, not the Camaro?" No reason.
All right, guys.
I got one more. I got one really quick super chat. He said. Reckless here says it's 30% of the people who take the test, the paternity test. Remember, France outlawed paternity tests because of how high the paternity fraud is there. One last thing. So just to tag one thing on to coming up next week, we're going to be at Babes in Toyland on Thursday. On Thursday the 13th. That's why we won't be in here. I am doing a special kind of group for guys who are between the ages of 45 and 65 years old. It's partnering with MOA, and our first kind of trial run for this is going to be on Wednesday the 12th. We're getting a bunch of guys together to we're getting just like 6 guys just to sort of proof of concept to see how it goes. So if you're interested and you're in that demographic between 45 and 65 years old and you're part of MOA and or if you want to get into MOA, this is a good opportunity for that. It's going to be guys. It's going to be the group is going to be more catered to men of that demographic. If you're coming out of a divorce, you're reintegrating yourself back into the sexual marketplace, this is a group that's for you. I'm doing it with my good friend Joe Marin, who's also part of MOA. That will be on the 12th, and then on the 13th we're meeting up again for Babes in Toyland. And
wait, where is it on the?
It will be in Los Angeles on the 12th. Yeah, on the 12th.
Like where?
It will. We're going to. We have if you contact me, if you get in touch with me on in Twitter, we'll give you the breakdowns. So that's
all right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you'll see us in person. Also, we have another 6 Vegas immersions if you guys want to sign up for them. Social media boot camps. If you guys want to go check us out at moamentoring.com, or you can come into our free group. You'll get a schedule for everything we're doing. And I don't give a fuck what happened tonight. Mavs in 6. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, guys.
Maybe we can talk again. Maybe things